I was just about to say, hey, the gang's all here, but there's no... Oh, here comes Fester. So, what, you're just going to walk in late every day now? Is that your new gig?
I've been here. All my crap's here.
All
right. What's up?
The gang is all here, yeah. It's me, MJ. Fester just walked in. And
Morning, Fest.
And Froggy's back from some exciting hardware shelf weekend in Orlando. Were you in Orlando?
Technically, I was in the Orange County Convention Center.
It's Orlando, right? Yeah.
Lovely convention center.
Right there off International Drive, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then Roxanne, who was not here on Friday, you had a field trip you had to go on? Is that it?
Yeah, it was a field trip to the aquarium.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, how fun.
That sounds awesome.
All right.
Great.
See a shark or two.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just blow the morning show off and just go to the aquarium.
It's called the vacation. That's part of our benefits package that we're allowed to take.
Oh, that's a vacation day?
Yeah, that was a vacation day.
You took a vacation day. All right. Well, yes, you can do it.
Don't forget.
And then, Froggy, I saw some kind of text from you, and I guess we'll get into this later on. Did you have like a near-death experience? Is it true you fell asleep at the wheel on I-4?
Oh, my God, I did. I forgot about that.
Dude, you sent a group text out.
Yeah, my car, let me know.
Yeah,
it was weird. I don't know how it did
something?
it. Yes. It goes, and I was like, and I screamed.
I've heard those noises before.
I was so tired.
I was in an Uber once, and the guy was just flying, and the traffic backed up quickly. And then the anti-collision or collision avoidance system, it just kicked in. And I think I was up in New York. I was going to JFK or LaGuardia. I was going to LaGuardia, and the car, and I think the thing even auto braked.
Yeah.
The car, or else we would have just bit someone's bumper at 50 miles an hour. So we'll get Froggy's story. Dude, you can't put yourself in a position where you're falling asleep at the wheel.
Well, the car has this thing where you can put it in automatic drive and it stops and goes because the traffic was so bad. And I was like, I'll just chill in this mode for a while.
And then you fell asleep?
I think I fell asleep then.
Oh, my God.
I fell asleep one time driving, and that's when I fell asleep is because I had it on cruise control.
Well, that's not good. You can't fall asleep.
It's the only time it's ever happened to me.
If you ever feel that tired that you're about to fall asleep, or if you catch yourself dozing off or nodding, or your eyes are getting really heavy and you just got to pull over. You got to pull off the road.
And do what? Sleep?
Yes, or just take some caffeine or
I was blasting my radio. I was blasting the cold air. I put all my windows down. Nothing worked.
Slap yourself in the face,
dude,
too.
if that happens, if you can't drive, you're a danger to yourself and you're a danger to others. You just got to pull off. If you literally cannot keep your eyes open and you're falling asleep, you just got to get off the road.
You do.
Even if it means just pulling off the shoulder.
It was tough.
And then even pulling into the grass or whatever. If you cannot keep your eyes open, you just got to get off the road.
So one time I wish I had a Tesla. It would drive me home. I could sleep.
Oh, man. I don't, you know what? I never want a Tesla, especially with that. You know, we had a story on Friday, which I never got to. It's in my pile. There's a story about some bakery out in California. They had an order from Tesla for like $16,000 worth of pies. And then the bakery made like all the pies and then for some kind of big event and then, or give it, whatever. I've got the story. And then they canceled at the last minute, leaving like this small business, this woman's bakery, high and dry with like a $16,000 pie order. I've got that in the pile. I'm sure Elon Musk will be checking in on that later on. I'm sure.
Possibly.
I think I hear Elon is already wandering the building.
I'm just walking under the desk, waiting.
Elon's already wandering. So Michelle and I went to see Billy Joel and Sting on Saturday night. The concert was fantastic. Thought it was superb. Fester, were you also there, I believe?
Oh, I was there.
What, everybody go? Jeez, what a party.
Did you go with Allison or what?
Allison gave me too much grief.
Oh, really? So you did not take your... Who'd you take to Billy Joel?
I took my daughter to Billy Joel.
Really?
How was the wheelchair row?
In a word, fantastic.
Wait a second.
Oh, God.
It is the only way to go.
But you didn't have a wheelchair.
I am disabled in other ways.
Oh, you had a limp?
No, you know what? Being a fat man sitting in those stadium seats, not only am I uncomfortable in the stadium seat, but I ruined the experience for the person on either side of me. And in the wheelchair row, I had plenty of room. It was
Is
fantastic.
that how you justified it in your head?
But what did you sit on?
So what they do is they have hard fixed seats, like stadium seats in the wheelchair row, and then they put a folding chair that's zip tied next to that seat.
Okay.
And then as the wheelchairs show up, they cut the zip tie and pull the chair.
Take the chairs away. Oh, so you did have a... Were you next to any actual wheelchairs or no?
All around.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Yes.
So, folks, if you don't know the story, Fester, we'll get into this in more detail later on, but Fester, when the Billy Joel Sting tickets went on sale, Fester bought wheelchair row. Did you do that again deliberately or accidentally?
Completely by accident.
And what section was this in? Where was it?
It was in the 300s level.
Oh, so you're way up.
No, because you're right on the rail.
But
Nobody was
still
up there.
300s is still the third deck up.
It was fantastic. It was great.
How was the concert? I saw one clip where the guy sounded awful.
All right.
You heard one clip where the guy sounded awful. Which
Maybe
guy?
it was Sting?
Which guy are you talking about?
Somebody posted a clip of Sting maybe singing, and it was like, ooh.
No, Sting was great. His
Or
voice
maybe it was the other dude.
Billy Joel was good also.
Yeah, that's who it was.
You know.
Fester sent our group Sting singing Roxanne, and I got like 15 messages from people at the concert with that same video.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because they never heard the song Roxanne before. Yeah, it's brand new. Sting just unveiled the song Roxanne
Something about a local radio host
at the stadium. Yeah, the song is from what, 1981? What was Roxanne?
How was Stuart Copeland?
I don't think he wasn't there.
What? What's the point of going?
It's not the police.
Oh, okay. It was just Sting.
Hey, did I ever tell you the time that I walked into my apartment and Stuart Copeland from the police was sitting on my couch?
I would faint. I'm such a fanboy.
Really?
I love Stuart. I love the police. Absolutely.
Oh, so Roxanne was 1978?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm 3 years too late. I said 81.
He's one of the best drummers alive, buddy.
Hold on. I've never... First of all, I had no idea you're a Stuart Copeland fan.
Oh, yeah.
All right, hold on. I got to tell you the time that Stuart Copeland, the drummer from the police, was in my apartment in Hollywood. I walk in from work, and he's sitting on my couch in my living room.
Do you wait for Sting to finish pooping? What the heck? What's going on?
It's a weird story. I kind of want to run into Stuart Copeland again someday and see if he remembers the damn story. So hold on a minute. I will tell that story for the early crowd next. Hey, it's a pretty jammed up show today. Fester.
Yes.
Andrew found it, but you sent that video of like the lady going bat crap crazy at the Wendy's.
Yes.
You know that's local.
I had no idea.
Dude, it's in Clearwater.
I saw it on Reddit.
Dude, it's Clearwater. And then Reddit, they pulled it off. And then Andrew was able to find it somewhere else.
Oh, man.
But it's a Clearwater Wendy's on Missouri.
I had no idea.
Yes. All right. We got a lot of stuff today. So I got someone emailing me with an accusation. I got to get to that coming up. It's a busy, busy Monday. Don't move. We're just getting rolling. I'll tell my Stuart Copeland police story next on the MJ Morning Show. It is 6:09. Traffic's on. Let's grab Pat with the latest, MJ. No doubt, obviously, fronted by Gwen Stefani. MJ Morning Show here on Q105 on a Monday morning. The whole crew is back together. Fester's here. I'm here. Roxanne is back. Froggy's back. So we're all here. The band's all here. Now, if you heard us last week, there was an item that we had about Gwen Stefani, who was on some kind of podcast recently, and she said something about some of the old No Doubt music makes her want to, like, throw up in her mouth or almost throw up.
Yeah.
I
And
can understand that.
but there's an odd component, because I think Andrew told me that she's about to go back on tour with No Doubt, or somebody. I thought someone told me that they're going to do some reunion tours, or I don't know whether it's Coachella. I thought somebody, Andrew, you didn't tell me that somebody did. See if you can find anything. Hopefully I'm not just, hopefully I didn't just dream that. Hold on. It's an article on Billboard. All right. Do you have the article up on your computer? All right. Well, yeah, get rid of the pop-ups and see if you can share some of the article with us. What does it say?
This came out near the end of January. Gwen Stefani says 2024 No Doubt reunion, quote, happened so fast, unquote.
All right. So the end of January, there was an article where she's talking about a 2024 No Doubt reunion. That doesn't quite jibe, though, does it? If she's talking about some of the No Doubt music makes her want to throw up in her mouth.
Okay.
And then she's going to have a reunion. So is she going to actually throw up on stage?
That'd be awesome.
If she did.
She's going to take Dramamine before she performs.
So
Well,
here's
that's for motion sickness.
Well, maybe it'll help with this too. Maybe it'll help with music sickness.
the lineup for Coachella is out, and it says "and No Doubt."
Okay, yeah, so it was Coachella.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
yeah.
Coachella.
I thought I had heard this somewhere.
You go to the No Doubt website, which is nodoubt.com. It says the first thing that pops up is the flyer for the concert, Coachella and No Doubt. They were just added.
All right, here's Gwen Stefani and No Doubt. Oh my God! Get the third grade janitor out here with that vomit sawdust powder that they have to throw on the floor. She just threw up all over the stage.
Stinks.
Oh, look, she had the fruit cup backstage. All right. Anyway, I just thought it's weird that they're going to have a reunion and she's just talked about throwing up in her mouth, that No Doubt songs make her want to hurl.
Yeah, they had some good songs.
I don't think it's everything, but
No, she said when she does Ex-Girlfriend, even when she says it, she almost throws up in her mouth, knowing where she was at that moment to write that song.
She's not mad at all the money the song has made.
No.
you know what? I want her to projectile vomit at Coachella.
Do you have anything you've done in your youth,
I want it to be renamed Pukechella.
MJ?
Yes.
Professionally.
Yes.
Do you have anything that you've done in your youth? Recorded phone calls, bits, gags, whatever.
That makes me want to throw up in my mouth?
Now that you listen to it
No.
and you say, does it, you go, or replace throw up in my mouth with cringeworthiness?
Listen,
Or does it make you hungry?
I can listen to some old recordings of myself when I first started out when I was like 16, and I can hear that I was like a beginner, I was a newbie, I was green sounding. I can hear the progression of me getting a little better over the years as I got, more broadcasting under my belt, but there's nothing that I listen to that makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about because of the content.
No.
Have you ever heard anything that
No.
didn't age well?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll stand behind everything.
Okay.
It was probably
Good for you.
appropriate for that time period,
Yeah.
right? It was appropriate for the time period.
I might say, would I do that again today? Maybe not, but I'm not going to throw up in my mouth. All right, let me tell the whole Stuart Copeland story. And of course, Sting and Billy Joel just at Ray J on Saturday night. I was there with Michelle and friends. We had a great time. I thought the show was great. Fester was there. We got a couple little Fester angles we got to talk about because Fester was in the wheelchair section. And apparently Fester just told me that he almost beat the ass of the guy behind him.
I got into
Was he in a wheelchair?
He was not.
That's
You
all
can't
we
beat
need.
up an old
That's-
man.
I could.
That's all we need is Fester beats up someone in a wheelchair at the Billy Joel concert.
I have been finding that I escalate things very quickly with people at concerts.
So Froggy asked just a few moments ago, was Stuart Copeland on the drums? No. It's not a police reunion. It was Sting And no, the police, I don't think none of the police members
Boo.
tour with Sting, but the drummer was good, but it was not Stuart Copeland. Stuart Copeland was the drummer for the English band, The Police. I think Stuart Copeland's actually American, though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So Stuart Copeland was sitting on my couch in my living room when I came home from work one day.
Was he fully clothed?
This was like late 89 or early 1990. And yes, he was fully clothed, Roxanne.
Unfortunately.
I just didn't know where the story's going. It could go anywhere.
Well, I'm going to tell you where the story's going right now. It's going to hell, okay? All right, here's where the story's going. I lived in Hollywood on Orange Avenue, 531 and a half Orange Avenue. And it was an old 1926 Hollywood house that was turned into a triplex. So 2 lower units, one on the left, one on the right, and then the center door went upstairs to a really nice big apartment upstairs. The landlord, named Greg, was a composer. And he worked on musical scores for TV shows and movies. He really nice guy, talented guy. I don't think he ever knocked it out of the park with any major Hollywood hits, but he had good steady work on TV shows and movies, but a really super guy. Turns out that he was working on the movie soundtrack for a really bad movie called Men at Work.
That's not that bad of a movie.
Emilio Estevez
Yeah, and Charlie Sheen. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible movie. It's awful.
They're garbage men.
So, exactly. So, and they're dealing with toxic waste and stuff. So, in the beginning of the movie, I actually provided some of the sound effects. In the beginning of the movie, there's this, I think they're I haven't seen this in 30-something years, all right? It's been a long time. So, I think the movie starts out with some
Garbage stuff.
some 55-gallon drums of waste and underwater, and you hear the bubbling, gurgling noises. I gave to my landlord, Greg, who lived upstairs, and he rented the lower units, and he gave me a great deal on the rent because I was single guy. I was working out in L.A. I had just gone to L.A. earlier in 89 to work for a radio station called Pirate Radio with Scott Shannon, who used to be here on Q105 years ago with the Q Morning Zoo, then went to Z100 in New York with the Z Morning Zoo, then left Z100 in 89 to go start Pirate Radio in Los Angeles, and Scott hired me from Virginia Beach to go work in L.A. So I had this great little apartment, but I didn't need the whole thing because I was just a single guy. So Greg gave me half price on the rent. The rent was $1,200 a month. I only paid $600 because he kept the whole back room as his office. So it worked. It worked well. So, he was in there doing work in the office. I come home from Pirate Radio 5, 6 o'clock one afternoon, and Stuart Copeland is sitting on my couch, and he's going through my CD collection because I had a big bookshelf with tons of CDs.
Big Barbra Streisand fan, are you?
Yeah, and he's going through my CDs, sitting on my couch. I'm like, Are you really sitting on my couch, Stuart Copeland from the? I recognized him immediately, and he was at my apartment because he was working with Greg. He was in the office in the back of my apartment. The studio was in the old garage in the back. Greg had a whole recording studio back there, and they were working on the soundtrack for the movie Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. And Emilio was over there numerous times as well, so he was never in my apartment sitting on my couch, but I met Emilio several times while they were working on some of the cuts in the soundtrack. But that's my story.
Wow.
Is Stuart Copeland is just sitting on my couch. He's going through my CDs.
This is awesome.
You know what? I had a police CD. He signed my, I got to find that. So in my collection somewhere, boxed up, is a police CD. And he signed the damn CD with a Sharpie.
That's awesome.
So that's my Stuart Copeland story, who was not on drums Saturday night
Damn.
at Ray J with some other guy playing drums for Sting.
He's the man.
So there you have it. But the movie, I can't believe you guys both know the movie.
Men at Work, absolutely.
That was a popular movie in the 80s.
Dude, it was a bomb.
In 1990, right? That was the year?
It was 1990. It came out, it was like one of those August dumps. You know, when movies come out like in mid to late August, that's where the movie companies just like bury their stinkers. And I believe that movie came out in like mid to late August of 1990, Men at Work.
They have no hope for that movie.
Yeah, hang on, I can look.
August 24th, 1990 was
Well,
the
there
release.
you go. There you go. It came out the last week in August is the movie dumping ground when movie studios just need to release a movie because it's a bomb and they just got to get it out of the way. That's the dumping ground is late summer, like right before Labor Day weekend. That's the movie dumping ground. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show on a busy Monday morning. Don't move. I've got a kick butt dose of early morons in the news next. Got some weird stuff today. So I guarantee you will be entertained with morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. If you've thought of Let's do some early morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show. A little bit of a theme this morning. People doing bad things in cars, like if you run out on the bill in a restaurant and the waitress runs out trying to stop you, don't run her over. I think it's a good tip from the MJ Morning Show, and I'm guessing they did not leave a tip if you run out on the bill, right?
No, nobody leaves a tip and then stiffs the bill.
Yeah, so Michigan authorities are searching for a couple who ran over the waitress after they were confronted about their unpaid bill at the restaurant. That's terrible. Yeah, here are the details. This is out of Keego Harbor, Michigan. Where the hell is that?
Keego Harbor.
I never heard of Keego. I never heard of that.
Isn't that a butt exercise?
What?
A Kegel?
No.
It's got an L in it.
Oh.
Right. No, that's not a butt. I think that's more of a female crotch exercise.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It's in the area, but not the butt.
No wonder why I can't get it to work.
Yeah, it's Keego, not Kegel. I think that's the name of it, right?
Oh.
So
Eagle Harbor. Let's see.
Authorities in Michigan are searching for a couple who left a restaurant without paying the bill and then ran over the waitress as she tried to confront them.
Oh.
That is the definition of dining and dashing. They were in a hurry.
Jeez. Waitress got run over by a reindeer.
She wishes.
A couple in their mid to late 50s. I mean, you wouldn't expect a couple in their mid to late 50s. You'd think like some maniacs in their, 20s or 30s might do this.
Or some mob guys, like in The Sopranos, when that one guy asked for his tip.
This happened at the El Camino restaurant. The man and woman disputed, I guess, the bill over service and food, and they walked out without paying for the meal. After leaving, Chloe's got a crazy story.
When she dined and dashed?
No, Chloe was out with a friend just the other night here in St. Petersburg, and this couple at the table, like behind them or next to them, had some kind of racket going about complaining about everything and that they didn't want to pay for the dinner.
That's not cool.
Yeah, let me make a note about that. We got to call Chloe about that. Chloe restaurant. So this couple was complaining. They walked out, didn't pay. After leaving, they entered a 2005 to 2009 Mercedes C-Class. As they began to drive away, the server ran out into the parking lot to confront them and told them they needed to pay the bill, and they laughed at her. The car stopped as the server stood in front of it, but then the driver backed it up to go around her. The server moved in front of the car again, and the driver knocked her over and ran her legs over before heading out of the parking lot and down the road. They ran her legs over.
That's not good at all, especially for a server to have busted legs.
I wonder what that feels like. Would that break your legs?
I would imagine. Police say additional video sources show a vehicle similar to the suspect vehicle traveling northbound on so-and-so with lights turned off within a minute of the incident. So the
Can't let them see your license plate.
Yeah, cops obviously were able to pull other surveillance videos from other businesses down the road, and they were able to see the vehicle flee, and they kept their lights off, obviously, to block the license plate from being seen or, to go stealth for a little bit.
They should have used one of those shades that you push a button and it goes down. It covers your license.
Now they're saying that they have a person of interest, but we don't have any details on a name or an arrest, but the cops are now following up on a person of interest. Can you imagine that, though? You go to a restaurant, you're complaining about the food, the service, you walk out, the waitress, because, there are restaurants that hold the servers responsible.
Oh, yeah.
There are some restaurants that if you're the victim of a dine and dash, you, the server, are responsible for the bill for that table. I think that sucks.
Why is that even a thing? That's not cool.
Of course it's not cool.
How would they have anything?
That blows. It's
Unless
terrible.
they really are terrible. And they're the reason why they left. Like if she sneezed on their food accidentally, I don't know.
I know that in the past we've talked about this and we've had servers call us over certain issues. We've done some dine and dash segments or things have come up of this nature. And I know that we've heard in the past that there are some restaurants that hold the server responsible if the customer flees without paying the bill. And I think that's grotesque. I think that's awful. Should never happen. All right, so that's vehicle story number one. Here's vehicle story number two. This is just disrespectful. Lady in South Carolina desecrated numerous graves at a cemetery on her way to meet somebody last Tuesday. The driver decided that her time was apparently very valuable, was running late, and this is in Livonia, Georgia. The woman's from South Carolina. She said that she was late for an appointment, so she mowed down multiple tombstones in the Livonia Cemetery. Photos from the scene show how her black SUV crashed on a brick structure, apparently a grave site, according to deputies.
Jeez.
And she told law enforcement she was running late to meet somebody, so she decided to take a shortcut and run through the cemetery and mow graves over, mow tombstones over. What a piece of crap.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
I hope she gets haunted by all of them.
Police say the woman drove down I-85 through Livonia and then ran through the Livonia Cemetery. Once she damaged several gravestones, she ran on foot but then was quickly captured. What the hell? Yeah, this is about 94 miles northeast of Atlanta. Police said that she was sent back to South Carolina for processing. Well, but if she did the damage in Georgia, why would they send her back to South Carolina? It doesn't make sense. And apparently it was a black Kia Soul. She flew over railroad tracks.
She ran over souls.
And then,
In a soul.
and then she pulled in front of the cemetery, and I guess it was traffic, just ran over tombstones. Well, who does this?
This is a bad person.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, Livonia is like the last town in the state of Georgia before you hit South
Oh, is
Carolina.
that what it is? That
It's
it?
a border town.
All right, but still, if she did the damage in Georgia, why would they send her? She should be arrested in Georgia. And
Boy, you questioning our southern law?
processed
You
in
questioning the southern law, man?
I'll say, boy, I'll say.
I declare you look like a South Carolina felon.
That's just bizarre.
I have a confession. When you first started to tell the story and you said desecrate, it's Monday. My brain's getting going. My vocab isn't where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I thought desecrate meant poop on.
Oh,
No, that's defecate.
Close. I mean, close.
that's called the Vince McMahon.
I mean, desecrate, defecate, and decorate are very similar when in passing.
know,
Yeah, they're all right there.
You can desecrate
Yes.
by defecating.
Yes.
oh, can you?
Yeah. Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, yes, you can.
I'm sure you can. All right, 6:49 at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. All right, first batch of early morons in the news. I got some more. We'll probably sprinkle them in during the course of the show. 7 o'clock hour is straight ahead. I want to hear about Fester's altercation at the Billy Joel concert. Did you get into a fight, or this was a near fight? What happened?
It could have escalated to a fight.
Did anyone step in to stop this?
No.
All right.
I was waiting for him to give me like a chest poke because that was go time.
Oh, okay. Apparently, Fester almost beat somebody's butt. Now, would you have prevailed in this situation?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Fester in a near fight at the Billy Joel and Sting concert Saturday night at Ray J. So let's get the details on that next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. On the other hand, it was a very pleasant, uneventful night for Michelle and I. We just had a great time. Great seats, great time, great company. And Fester nearly beat somebody's butt while he's sitting in the wheelchair section at Ray J. All right, that's next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. If you're... OJ and a crew, Fester, Roxanne, Froggy, 7 o'clock here on a Monday morning. And seriously, that was just coincidentally scheduled. That just was on the computer schedule. I didn't stick that in there. It's fitting because we're about to talk about Fester, I guess, almost beating someone's butt in the wheelchair section at Ray J on Saturday night. How the hell did you get there?
All right. First of all, the wheelchair section
Yep.
is the best place to sit.
Now, if you were following this story last fall, I think it was like October or something, when Fester bought the tickets. And what was the deal? You didn't know that you bought tickets in the wheelchair section. You bought the tickets, and then you realized later on, and then you weren't sure whether you needed a wheelchair to be in the wheelchair section. And then your wife was embarrassed and said, I'm not going to go with you. I'm not going to go to the wheelchairs. Remember that whole...
Yeah, none of this worked out the way I thought it would.
Right.
However, in the end, it worked out.
And she didn't
pretty
even
well.
go with you.
No, she didn't go.
So
She
you
didn't
took
care.
your daughter, Hadley.
Yes, who had the time of her life.
Did she know any of the songs?
Yeah. She even mentioned, she goes, she knows all of the Sting songs that we play on Q105.
Right.
And she knows a lot of the Billy Joel songs. And Billy Joel played her favorite of his songs.
Which is?
We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Because
good
it
one.
has
I've heard of that one.
Well, that has a new life now because, what, Fall Out Boy?
I don't know.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy did an
updated version of it.
a refreshed version with some more modern current events. I always read that Billy Joel didn't like that song, and I thought he complained about that song, but it was, I think, the first one up in the encore.
It was.
Yeah, it was the first song in the encore. You know, I was in one of the suites for a little bit. Michelle and I got invited to like a whole bunch of different suites. So, you know, we were in
Whoa, you guys are pretty popular, huh?
listen,
Not
Oh,
just
my
one. We had a choice.
A whole bunch.
we kind of went down suite. No, I was getting all these texts. Hey, pop into the suite, say hi. So we were in just club seats. We were in the Hyundai Club. We were like section 213, and they were good, nice padded club seats. But then, you know, we kind of bounced in and out of a couple of suites.
Sweet hopping.
Yeah. So it was a great show. Michelle and I enjoyed it. Fester, what happened with you where you're almost beating down some guy in the wheelchair section? That would have been great. Yeah, threw a guy down the stairs like O.J. Simpson in Naked Gun.
Sister's looking for a different kind of sweet.
Before I get into the story,
Yeah.
I want you to know the guy who I got into this altercation with,
Right.
almost a fight with, was not in a wheelchair. Before I get to wheelchair
Okay,
people,
all right.
you know, writing
There goes
angry
all the
letters.
fun.
Yeah.
That softens it just a little bit.
So Billy Joel's singing this one song he has called Piano Man. Right?
Never heard of it.
Never
Yeah.
heard of that song.
Right. It's
So
something
How
like-
does that go?
Something about at a bar.
Right.
and
What is it,
there's-
like a piano with arms and legs?
I mean, there's like Davy in the Navy. Anyway,
You know what Chloe said, and she was very astute. Billy Joel went on at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
The first song he should have done was "It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday."
Good
He
point.
should have opened with that. It would have been perfect timing. Anyway, go ahead.
so every Billy Joel concert I've been to, that's always been the last song. Piano Man was the finale. So he's singing it, and I know he was.
Piano Man was not the finale on Saturday night.
That is correct.
Right.
So every concert I've been to before, that was the finale. So for some reason, I'm thinking the concert must be wrapping up. Because it was early because I thought we said he would be on to like 11:20 or 11:30,
Yeah,
but
You May Be Right was his last
Right.
song.
and I didn't know he was coming back with that big encore block. Anyway, everybody
Yeah,
starts,
he had a 5-song encore. He did "We Didn't Start the Fire," "Uptown Girl," "Still Rock and Roll to Me." You had to be a big shot. That was the fourth, and then the final number 5 encore was "You May Be Right." Go ahead.
So everybody starts pulling out their cameras. And here's something I don't understand. Why do people feel the need to videotape a concert, especially when you have not up close seats? All this guy is doing, and the audio must suck on these phones. It's not great audio.
I took a 10-second video just
Sure.
to post.
So did I.
But okay.
But this guy's standing here the whole time, right over my shoulder. And it's not like row seats where there's a little bit of separation. He's up on me because I'm in the wheelchair row. And he should be moving around. But, you know, the stadium did a good job of keeping people moving. But this is during Piano Man.
Was he up on you to the point where like your back hair was tickling him?
Were you grinding?
If I were sitting down in my seat, I could have headbutted him in his nuts.
Right.
All right. But I'm standing up, right? My daughter's standing up.
Right.
He's standing up behind me with his cell phone, and
Yep.
his flash is on.
Why is his flash on?
Thank you. And
Oh, you know what? It was probably on. He probably was holding up
he
the
was
cell
recording
phone.
a video.
But the light might have been on from when Billy was doing some songs and the crowd was holding up this. The cell phone flashlights are the new Bic lighter.
So there's cell phone lights all around the stadium
for the last 15 years at least.
This guy is recording a video of Piano Man.
Right.
So I look back and I go, "Hey, buddy, can you take a step down?" And he goes, "I was like, your light's in my eye." And he's like, "Oh, is my light bothering you?"
Oh.
So I was like, "Yeah." And we're kind of shouting because we're over the music. And he goes, "Hey, how about all those lights over there?" And he points to the other side of the stadium.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? And I was like,
well, it's a little different lights on the entire opposite side of the field versus a light a foot away from your retina.
No, I'm with him.
So then I instantly go from 0 to escalation mode.
Good. Okay.
And I said, "Listen, bleep, you're right over my shoulder." And he looks at me and he snickers.
Oh, I'm starving.
So then I take my phone out.
Was he hangry?
I
Did he need a Snickers? It's not like you needed a Snickers.
I look at him.
Yeah.
I take my cell phone out. I turn my flash on. And while everybody's looking at Billy Joel,
you shined it at his eyes?
My back is to Billy Joel, and I'm holding my cell phone right in his face with my eye. And I go, "See what I mean? See what I mean?"
Wait,
and then I dropped a bleep face on him. See what I mean? Bleep face.
Ass face?
Close.
S-bomb face? What?
Oh,
F face.
Oh,
wow.
You called him an F face?
That is
Hold on. Is this all in front of your 12-year-old daughter?
Hadley's right there, who I learned for the first time is the worst person to have when daddy's about to be in a fight because she starts laughing. She was so excited. She's laughing out loud. And I'm thinking, I'm going to get into a fight with this guy any second now. And I'm like, "See what I mean?"
Was he big, the dude?
He was, I didn't size him up too well. I don't think he was bigger than me.
And this was Piano Man, so that was the 17th song, and it was before the 5-song encore for the big finale. What if you would have gotten ejected? You would have missed We Didn't Start the Fire, Uptown Girl, Still Rock and Roll to Me.
She said, "Hey, it's not Flashlight Man, it's Piano
Yeah,
Man."
and I'm like, I'm yelling at him during the song. I'm like, "How's your video turning out? How's your video? See what I mean? How do you like the light?"
Wait, but so you're ruining the audio by yelling?
Cursing at him, yelling at him over his video. And then the song's over, and I said, "I hope you enjoy your video." He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to send it to my kids." And I was like they never heard Piano Man before. And
you know what, Fester? I'm really happy that you did not take his phone from him because sometimes you want to do that. You're like,
well, okay,
I'm just going to rip
that's
your phone out of your
battery.
hand.
That could be a chargeable offense.
Yeah, and isn't it like it's even higher than that now because phones are so expensive? What theft could it be classified as?
If it was $1,000 phone?
Was security nearby, or
there was so
did
many
anyone
people,
step in? Or?
No, there were so many people there. And a lot of people thought the concert were wrapping up. So people who were in the seats of the 300 level are now kind of meandering down. So the wheelchair row and walkway was packed. And this guy's right over my shoulder with the thing. I led into him.
Did he know you were Fester from the MJ Morning Show?
I told him. I was like, "Do you know who I am?"
No, you didn't.
No, of course not. I don't think
no, but he might have recognized you. You've been around for a long time.
We were invited to several suites.
I don't need bad PR.
I don't care about PR. What's going to happen? Yeah. Ooh.
I'll smack a guy in the face.
Yeah, seriously. I don't care at all. I am so oblivious to what I'm doing whenever I'm out.
Can you imagine if Fester got arrested at Ray J at the Billy Joel concert?
And my daughter would have laughed. Oh, it's not just like she's chuckling or smirking or giggling. She's like,
what if you were arrested? What if you were put into the holding cell at Ray J, which they do have? They have a TPD, HCSO. They have a holding cell. What about your daughter? What if you ever think about what if you got arrested or detained? What would have happened to your daughter?
Does the stadium not have like a juvie?
Juvie jail.
Stick her in there for a couple hours. It would be fine.
And I got some bad news here, folks. I mean, you just can't win. You think you're exercising, getting in good shape. Now, one of these study find stories, big ab muscles could lead to heart disease for men. What? So you're working out, you got a six-pack going, and now that could lead to heart disease? Yeah. Man, you can't freaking win.
How's that possible?
What's good for you is now bad for you. And I mean, it's all over the road. It seems every flipping day there's something you thought was good for you is now bad for you. And then the bad stuff becomes good. The good stuff becomes bad. Damn it. Big abs could be bad for a guy's health.
I got to worry about this.
Body composition, which is typically defined as the amount of fat, bone, and muscle in the body. It's a frequently used concept. Health professionals, when they talk about heart health, but researchers now from the University of California, San Diego, are challenging this whole thing. They're throwing this on its head, suggesting that more muscle doesn't automatically mean a lower risk of heart problems. In fact, Britta Larson, PhD, Britta, she's doing muscle work?
When she's not doing water work.
Yeah, I was going to say, did she invent the Britta filter? Anyway, so Britta Larson explains that men with a larger abdominal muscle area have a greater risk of heart disease.
I think I just figured it out.
Well, hold on to that thought. As far as muscle density goes, the prognosis is much different. Men with the densest muscles within the abdominal cavity had nearly 1/4 of the risk of heart disease later in life. So men with the densest muscle within the abdominal cavity had nearly 1/4 of the risk of heart disease later in life. And the other reality, important to note, is that we didn't find this with women. So, wait a minute. This says big ab muscles could lead to heart disease for men, but then doesn't that one sentence, doesn't that contradict that?
The density contradicts it, but then if you read further, it says the team found that large muscle groups' heart disease risk was 6 times higher in the large group than the small group,
The
right?
team found that the large muscle group's heart disease risk, yes, was nearly 6 times higher. But how do you delineate between men with the densest muscle in the is there a different definition for densest muscle versus the large muscle group having a higher risk of heart disease?
Okay, I think what the density of the muscle is.
What the hell's
different.
the difference?
I think the difference, I'm just guessing, but I'm guessing because I'm looking at a picture of these abs in this story. I think the large muscle is just bigger, the bigger chunks of the ab muscle, the more defined looking chunks. They're larger, but the actual muscle is denser. Forget about that. I figured this out.
They have a difference, I guess, as you look further in the study. Density is a bit trickier, so it's density versus muscle quality. But the men with the densest muscles have a greater risk of heart disease, is what this says.
Larger, yes.
Larger muscles.
Yes.
So it's larger versus density.
So listen, what'd you figure out, Roxanne?
It hit me when I looked.
It's a Roxanne investigation here.
Yes.
She's figured it out.
It's easy.
What is it?
These guys took steroids.
There's nothing about steroids in the whole damn study.
No, but I'm telling you.
Steroids are not even mentioned in here.
Doesn't matter. I'm looking at these abs.
That's Roxanne's investigation.
Yes.
And that's her hypothesis.
Yeah, I'm looking at the abs in this photo. Those abs, you can't, you would have to be really dedicated, like all day sit-ups to get those kind of abs unless you were supplementing. I bet they just didn't
Roxanne.
take into account. And sometimes steroids are not good for your heart.
You're looking at like a stock photo from like iStock or Getty Photos.
And it jogged my memory.
right.
Like that's
Of what, your steroid use?
yes, exactly.
Have you ever heard that bodybuilders die young?
Yes. No.
We talk about steroids, but
Yeah.
but those big hulking muscles. I'm
Yeah.
looking at a list of bodybuilders and when they died. A lot of them, some of them had other issues, but a lot of them had heart disease. A lot of them are not reported.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Some like 55, 54, 35, 49. Yeah, some of these bodybuilders died young.
Yeah, so there's a thing about bodybuilders, people with ridiculous muscles dying early.
Listen,
a
I just
lot of
think
them have heart disease.
if you overdo anything in life, it's probably not good for you. It's like just be
I got to
normal.
stop working out so hard.
Yeah.
All right?
I don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, you need to stop falling asleep at the wheel. If you didn't hear the story, first thing this morning, Froggy fell asleep at the wheel on I-4. And his brand new Ford F-150 saved his butt. We'll get into that coming up in just a bit. I saw a terrible accident on Waters yesterday morning, and then...
Yeah, what are you doing posting that, man? What are you, a sovereign citizen?
What?
Don't post accidents like that. It's horrific.
Dude, I've never seen a car mangled like that, and I put a picture up.
It was horrifying.
It was horrifying. But I feel bad because I didn't think that everyone walked away from that. So I've got the details on that story, and it's really just a terrible story. I've got a listener who has a major dilemma with a neighbor. They want us to kind of evaluate the situation. All right, hold on. We'll get to all that coming up. Also, they're looking for a guy that threw coffee in a Dunkin' Donuts employee's face up in Newport Richie. And then we got a lady that went bat crap crazy at a Wendy's in Clearwater. And there's video. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We start an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, and someone's accusing me of shooting up. Yeah, hang on. I'll get to that coming up. We got a loaded. Don't miss a moment. We're back in minutes, and we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. MJ Morning Show, Q105, 726. Let's do it. Starting an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ right now. And as you know, every morning it's just density, man. It's just nonstop content. Let's let her rip. Couple of observations I want to make quickly. I don't know what it is. Bunch of restaurants in the last couple of days. A bunch of restaurants have followed me on my Instagram. I don't know. Maybe the fact that they hear me mentioning some restaurants are interesting. Maybe they're maybe trying to get in on the mention action. I don't know. So I mean,
The mention action.
No, but seriously, I appreciate it though. I love the fact that they listen to the show and then they follow me on Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. So Beef and C, they followed me, and I did mention them because they do the whole belly clams like a Taste of Boston in South Tampa. So Beef and C followed me. The Taste of Boston followed me. Kojak's House of Ribs, they followed me. Remember, they used to be in South Tampa on Gandy, and then they moved out toward where you work.
I think they have a location out in
Sefner or something.
Is it out there? I haven't been.
Dover, Yeah. So they're out in, I think, Dover or Sefner right now.
Okay.
Kojak's moved from South Tampa. It's Sefner, Andrew says. And then, Mel's Hot Dogs followed me yesterday.
Oh, good. We talked
Mel.
about them a while
Now,
ago.
But Mel's, obviously under the same ownership for decades, they recently sold, right? Or did they? I know they were looking for a buyer. Famous Mel's on Bush.
I don't know
not
if he
far
sold
from
the joint or not.
Oh,
I
so
don't
you
know.
don't know?
I don't know.
I
Me
will.
and Mel aren't that close anymore.
Mel's Hot Dogs followed me on Instagram. Piper's Scratch Pizza, and then Luigi's Pizza in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Oh, man, that place is so good.
Well, I'll tell you.
So, hey, if you're in New York City, folks, and even if you're not going to Brooklyn, go to Brooklyn. And Luigi's is just old school, like corner pizzeria type place. Oh, man, you want to talk about a classic New York slice? Luigi's on Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn, and he followed me over the weekend. So thank you, Luigi, up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, thanks.
I think he must have heard what a fan I am of his pizza up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it gets
bet.
around. All these restaurants are aware of what you've done for the Olive Garden by your mentions and going there on Valentine's Day.
Can I point something else out quickly? I saw a billboard yesterday, and it's the first time I saw them, but apparently they're buying these billboards all over the country. There's a billboard, and it's on Dale Mabry, and it's I think just past Hillsborough, going north on Dale Mabry, and it's for the Epoch Times.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? It says #1 most trusted news.
I've never heard of them.
It's not. Epoch Times is a conspiracy wacko newspaper website. What? All kinds of conspiracy garbage and
Cool, I gotta look it up.
False information. And,
I actually read it. I'm not a subscriber.
No, you don't.
I mean, I've read articles. I'm familiar with it.
From where?
Well, I've seen articles on it. You have to register. I'm not a registered user, but I've had people send me articles from it.
Okay, it's not a good source.
What is it, like flat Earth stuff?
It's,
Aliens?
It's like conspiracy. It's
Pizzagate?
I'm telling you. It's weird QAnon stuff. I'm telling you.
Weird.
To see a billboard, and how many tens of thousands of cars a day are on Dale Mabry going northbound near Hillsborough, and they see this billboard, it's EPOCH, Epoch Times. And man, it's weird stuff. It's like a Falun Gong connected organization. So
that?
on one hand, they're opposed to the Chinese government, but they built this whole conspiracy nutty website. And I'm just telling you, to see a billboard that says #1 trusted news, no, it's not. It's conspiracy stuff, and it's like a cult. The leader of the cult's up in New York State, and he claims he can levitate and go through walls.
Well, that's fun.
And they're also connected to Shen Yun. You know that Chinese dance thing?
No.
Yeah, that whole
Huh.
So they're connected.
Crazy.
Is that like Cirque du Soleil?
Well, with Chinese dancers, yes. It's similar, but it just hit me. I'm driving on Dale Mabry yesterday, and it's like Epoch Times #1 trusted news. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the complete opposite.
I thought it was pronounced epic.
No,
Epoch.
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 Yeah, is how you pronounce it.
Okay, so speaking of China, where did you eat yesterday, MJ? Because I was trying to remember.
Well, we were on our way to China Yuan,
Okay.
Yeah, we love China Yuan on Armenia, just north of Waters.
Mm-hmm.
And we went for dim sum yesterday. Chloe and myself, and we met a couple of friends. So we had dim sum. And on the way there, that's where I saw that terrible accident on
Oh, no.
Waters. And, I just wanted to take a moment. And I did post the photo because I'm sitting in traffic. And I saw just these mangled vehicles, and it's been a long time since I've seen a car wreck like that. And I even when I posted the picture, listen, I mean, I do a radio show. I post the good, the bad, the ugly. I post, intriguing stuff. I post a little bit of everything on my Instagram feed. It's mostly really nice, good stuff. But I just have not seen a mangled wreck like this in a long time. And I knew that somebody or multiple people might not have walked away from this. Snapped a couple of photos. In fact, Channel 8 reached out to me last night and they asked permission to use the photos. So I think Channel 8 used them at 11 o'clock last night. And I, reached out to my contacts at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office to see if there was any information. And then finally, a press release went out. And I just wanted to make a mention here that this guy was leaving a club at 6 a.m., was involved in a couple of other accidents, and then fled high speed. And this poor woman had her life taken from her. This is so disturbing to me. From the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, it says the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man after a traffic fatality that occurred at Waters Avenue and Himes Avenue on February 25th, 2024 at 6 a.m. HCSO received a 911 call in reference to a vehicle crash. In the early morning, while leaving a nightclub, Henry Fuentes Rodriguez, 39, collided with an occupied vehicle but proceeded to flee from the scene. After leaving the scene, Rodriguez pulled into a McDonald's parking lot where he hit another vehicle and yet again continued without stopping. Proceeding down Waters, traveling at a high rate of speed, Rodriguez then ran a red light, causing his car and another vehicle to collide and flip multiple times, forcing the victim and her vehicle into a wooden utility pole. Deputies arrived and found Anne Marie Rutkowski, 59, deceased. Can you imagine? I mean, this poor woman, 6 a.m., Michelle looked her up, and she might have worked at a hospice caring for people. And I don't know whether she was going to work or coming back from work, but apparently she lived less than a mile from the accident scene. And here's this maniac hitting two other vehicles, fleeing at a high speed. This dude is being charged with vehicular manslaughter, and hopefully more charges are coming. But for him to take the life of this woman, it's so disturbing to me. And, when I saw this crash and these mangled vehicles, I mean, it really put a pit in my stomach. So to any of the colleagues, the friends, relatives of Anne Marie Rutkowski at 59, who had no idea that she was going to die yesterday. I mean, it's unfathomable to me. And this son of a bitch, this Henry Fuentes Rodriguez, hope this guy doesn't see the light of day for a very, very long time. It's just, it's a foul story. Hitting two other vehicles and then fleeing and running a red light and taking this poor woman out.
Awful.
Anyway, terrible. Froggy, you saw I put the picture up on my Instagram, and I was a little torn, but, I think, and I kept it up there because I think it's important to highlight the story, and I posted the whole sheriff's office press release. Listen, I'm in the news business too here, folks. The news stations all did the story yesterday, and I just think it's important to say the things that the news stations don't say, like I hope this bastard fries for what he did to this lady. Just be careful out there. I always end the show with let's be careful out there. You never know. You just got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to just watch the intersections. You might have the green light, but just watch. See if someone's flying at a high rate of speed. Just you got to be defensive out there. Hey, and speaking of car wrecks, I saw another item. What time is it? 7:37? 7:37 here at the MJ Morning Show. I saw another item over the weekend, and it reminds me of a conversation that I just had with a friend in the insurance business. And this is a very interesting angle. The story that I saw was, you're not imagining things. Drivers are more distracted by their phones than ever. Absolutely. Again, folks, as you're driving, take a look at the cars around you. As you pass people, look how many people are on their phones. Look how long they're looking at their phones and not looking at the road ahead of them. So there's this whole article. Vox did a whole piece about, drivers are more distracted than ever. This is an interesting angle. A friend of mine in the insurance industry, and he does some high-powered, big insurance stuff. We had a conversation recently where he said to me that he would not be surprised. He said it's coming. That if you have auto insurance, listen up, folks, this is important. If you have auto insurance and if you're on your phone and you get into a car wreck and it's proved through the accident investigation that you were on your phone, and keep in mind, if you ram into somebody, if you hurt somebody, you crack their back, you smack their daylights out. If you crash into somebody, their neck's all twisted. The first thing the other side is going to do, their lawyers are going to subpoena your cell phone records. They're going to see if you were on your phone, if you were texting. They're going to get timestamps. So if you want to make it easy, if you're in a car wreck and you want to make it easy for the other side that's going to sue you, have a paper trail of you on your cell phone. So here's what my friend said to me. My friend said that he claims that this is absolutely coming. That if you're in a car wreck and it's proved that it's because of you being on the cell phone, that there are going to be exclusions in auto policies that they are not going to cover you if you are on your phone while in the accident. He says that he is confident that this is coming not too far down the road.
Good.
That if you have auto insurance and you get into a wreck and you're on your phone and I've got insurance, they're going to cover it, that there are going to be exclusions in policies in the not so distant future that if you're on your phone and you cause a wreck, that it's going to void your insurance.
Hold on then.
Yeah.
If you're the victim of the accident, who do you go after for damages?
Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know how that works out.
Yeah, I don't know. But he said there's going to be some variation of that, or they go after you personally, that the insurance company is not going to, back you up as far as, your liability, that you're going to be personally on the hook, and the insurance company could write you off. It could wreck you financially. So maybe that's going to be an incentive to get people off their phones. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but keep in mind, what is happening is if you cause a wreck, the other side, the first thing they do is they subpoena your telephone records to see if you were on your phone at the time of the accident. That's the number one thing they do. So just get ready for some type of exclusions that you might not have the coverage you think you're going to have at some point in the future, is what my friend predicts. So just a little heads up on that. Hey, speaking of autos, Froggy kind of touched on this at the very beginning of the show today at 6 o'clock when we started. Froggy's back. Froggy was out all last week with his family shelving business at some trade show in Orlando. Froggy sent a message to the morning show group via text. Froggy apparently fell asleep at the wheel on I-4 coming back from Orlando. When was this? Saturday?
Just for a second.
When was
Saturday
this?
evening. About 5 o'clock. Heavy traffic.
So you're on I-4 and you doze off.
Yeah, I put it in like auto drive mode for a while because the traffic was so stop and go.
If it was an auto drive, then why did you almost hit somebody? Why wouldn't it have stopped?
It went.
No, it did.
If you take your hands off the wheel, in like 5 seconds, a buzzer goes off, and I think my hands just fell to my side.
So
I was asleep.
Froggy, according to his text, you fell asleep and the anti-collision or all of the safe. You just got.
There was like a bunch of
Yeah.
buzzards and alarms
Yeah.
that went off. It really woke me
Hold
up.
on, do you say buzzers or buzzards?
Buzzards.
They're just circling his car, waiting for his carcass so he could eat
bunch
it.
of buzzards went off.
Get up.
Froggy's in his brand new F-150. By the way, you love that thing, don't you?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
Saved my life.
Yeah, apparently so. So Froggy's in his brand new F-150, which of course he got at Veterans Ford, and you will not get a better deal anywhere than Veterans Ford. If you're looking for a Ford, folks, little bonus spot here. If you're looking for a Ford, you go to Veterans Ford and tell them you want the MJ deal. Or send me an email, mj@mjmorningshow.com. I'll make sure you get the deal. All right, so Froggy's in the vehicle, and you fall asleep at the wheel, and then suddenly the vehicle starts going, bah!
Yeah.
Right?
And it stopped itself. It was crazy.
So the car saved your butt.
It was amazing.
How fast were you going when you fell asleep at the wheel on I-4?
Like 15 miles an hour. Not too bad.
Because it's stop and go
Just
traffic.
stop and go traffic, and it went for a while.
Yeah, but you would have bashed somebody's
oh,
rear
it
end.
would have been bad.
They would have had a cricked up neck. They would have been suing you left and right.
They'd have been scared.
That's
and
this is the first time
confused.
I've ever have. You guys ever fallen asleep before driving?
No.
I have.
No.
I was 14 years old and I was driving to Miami.
What? Wait a minute. Hold
All
on.
right.
Whoa. Hang on a minute.
No.
You were behind
I'm
the
sorry,
wheel.
15.
Is it still?
Hold on.
Yeah.
You didn't have a driver's license at 15?
Well, I was with a parent. I was with my dad. And
Hold
my
on.
dad
Was your dad sleeping too?
No, he was awake. He was reading the newspaper. And I was like, Dad, I'll drive. You can read your newspapers.
So you had your learner's permit.
Yes.
So learner's permit.
Learner's permit.
Dad in the passenger seat, and he's just reading the paper while you're falling asleep.
Yeah, on I-75. So we were driving, and I was like, Dad, how do I do cruise control? So I did cruise control. I mean, this is years ago, obviously. And then I was like, okay. And I just got so lulled that and it was, the sun's beating in on you. And I started to just doze off, and we started to go off the road, and my dad yanked the wheel back. So we were back on the road. He's like, wake up.
Where on 75 were you? Like Alligator Alley, or
Approaching Alligator Alley.
Okay.
So getting close to, yes.
making that bend at Naples?
Yes, around there.
My God, you could have went off into the swamp or something.
The
You'd
Gator
still
could
be missing.
Gator could have got you.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Call this
The
Roxanne.
Mikasukis might have had to dig you out.
Hey, you want to be careful around Roxanne Curve.
I would have
My
had a curve
God.
named after.
There's one she's teen.
So Froggy, you got lucky, man. You're lucky your car woke you up and stopped and started buzzing and going, bah, right?
Yeah, those long convention days will get you.
I guess so.
But thank you, Ford. Thanks.
Yeah, your new Ford F-150
Thanks, Henry.
saved your butt. How about that?
No problem, Michael.
Oh,
All right, so I got somebody emailed me and they're accusing me of shooting up.
like steroids?
heroin?
Nope.
Heroin?
No, not steroids, not heroin. Somebody
What, Botox?
Growth hormones?
Go yeah. So I think I missed the boat on that. All right, so here's the deal. Fester,
Yes.
go to my Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
I got an email from a listener who saw the pic right there. It's that picture right there. The picture of Chloe and me, because Chloe was in the studio on Friday.
Right.
And a listener sent me an email and asked me, which weight loss drug am I injecting myself with?
I've been wondering the same thing.
And I am not.
Ozempic.
Now, I'll tell you what, I got to be honest. I'm looking at this image, and I look fairly slim in that picture.
This is a very humble, braggy story.
You are so
Hold on a
thin.
minute. How's it humble and braggy? I've got a listener is accusing me of using Wegovy, or they mentioned
Mounjaro and
no, they didn't mention
Ozempic.
they mentioned Wegovy and Ozempic. They didn't mention the Mounjaro, which apparently is like the best of them all. But the listener looked at the photo and even says, hey, I saw the photo of you and Chloe on your Instagram, and you're looking really thin. Which drug are you using?
Yeah, looking too
Are you
fit.
using Ozempic or no, I am not using anything. I'm not taking any weight loss drug. I'm not using Mounjaro. I'm not using Ozempic. I'm not using Wegovy. I'm not, none of it. I'm just like, I'm eating well, I'm eating less, and I'm working out at X-Force Body for the last year, twice a week. I'm going after the show today, and I'm walking 20-something miles a week.
So I'm looking at this full body photo, maybe from your thighs to the top of your head, and your torso is trimming down so much. I guess I've never really noticed how disproportionately large your head is. Wow. You are like a living bobblehead, Froggy. Look at the size of his head.
He's a Funko Pop.
That is not.
Your head is really big.
It is not
You're
really
MJ
big.
Funko.
My head is not really big.
No, it is. I mean, look at the picture. Here's your svelte body. You and Chloe are the exact same height, and your head is pretty large.
You do look like a Funko Pop. We gotta make an MJ Funko.
So M Rice, and I guess it's Marcy. So Marcy, I am not on Ozempic. I'm not on Wegovy. I'm not on Monjaro.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
Oh, you don't believe me?
Okay. I'm not.
Oh, now you don't believe me?
Okay. Listen, I don't not believe you. I mean, I think you're telling the truth, but just listening to you defend yourself in these undefensible positions is like,
It would be, first of all, it would be indefensible.
Okay.
But listen, Marcy saw my picture, and yes, I'm looking at the picture, and yes, I look pretty thin and slim in this photo, but why does she have to jump to the conclusion that if I'm looking a little thinner in a picture, that I must be shooting myself up with one of these weight loss drugs?
I mean, seriously, Marcy, he could have a disease. He could have a drug addiction. He could have a tapeworm. Okay, Marcy? Okay.
All right, Marcy, I am not taking any weight loss drug. Nothing. I am working out and I'm eating pretty well. That's it.
Humble brag. You're right, Roxanne. You're so right.
Hold on a minute. How am I?
Because you set it up like someone's accusing me of shooting up.
I have the email of them accusing me of shooting up. How am I supposed to bring this up?
It's just taking us down the road to how fit am I? Look at me.
No, listen. I'm in better shape than I've been in a long time.
Well,
but hold on, Roxanne. Wait a minute. You even said something to me like a month ago.
Did you write it in your diary?
No. But hold on. What did you say a month ago?
I said I don't know. I tried to say it in a polite way and not a creepy
There
coworker
was a
way.
picture that we. What was that picture?
I think I said you look like you're in really good shape.
There was a picture that we took in the studio. Also,
Yes.
And you brought that up. I didn't bring that one up. You brought that one up.
Or are you talking about the one where I said I liked your smile?
No, there's one that you said that I look
I
good
know.
or whatever. Well, I can't remember what was. It was a month ago.
If you want to know what part of MJ's in really, really good shape, it's that big ass head of his. Oh my God. I've never really noticed how it's just like balancing her on your
all right, so
shoulder.
hang on a minute. Am I supposed to ignore this email? I get an email from Marcy asking me which weight loss drug am I jamming myself in the stomach with? I'm supposed to, ignore the email? Or address it that I'm not taking a weight loss drug?
Address it.
Address.
So I addressed it.
Yes.
So why are you guys giving me crap?
Because you're bringing it up just to brag about your stupid
I'm
body.
not bringing it up.
You could have just wrote Marcy back and wrote back, LOL, that's not the case. Thanks for listening. All the best. And left it at that. But no, here we are. Because apparently Marcy and no one else is thinking you're taking Wegovy.
She thinks because I'm telling you, if you look at a photo from me a year ago, I'm a little heavier a year ago. And I'm just standing there. I wasn't even like, Roxanne, you make all the conscious efforts to you'll pose 95 times till you get the photo that you want.
I mean, not 95, probably, 98.
and no photo gets up there without approval.
Oh, it's
Let me
gotta
see
be
a photo.
approved.
Let me see the photo. Let me see the photo you took.
Yeah,
The
I
lighting
mean-
is off.
I'm not going to use a filter, but I'm going to make sure it's in good lighting. Yeah.
Liz.
I think it's your skull formation, MJ. That's where the
What
head's
is your
coming from.
fixation on my freaking head all of a sudden?
Go and listen, people, go to Certified MJ Radio. See the
You're
size.
flexing in that picture.
I'm not flexing anything. I'm standing there next to Chloe.
No, you're-
thanking Chloe for filling in for Roxanne on Friday. All right, the photo is on my Instagram. If you want to see the photo where I'm being accused of shooting
Looking
up with...
too good.
What?
All right.
You guys believe that people think I'm on
It's picture number 4.
thin and shredded.
It's picture number 4 on my Instagram right now at Certified MJ Radio. I have, listen, listeners contact me, whether they email me, whether they send me a direct message. This is a direct message
Yes.
that I want to share with you. This is something else. This came from, should I use the first name is not a common name. So you know what? I'm just going to use the initials PB. This came from PB.
Peanut butter.
And this is a direct message that I got on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. My DMs are open. You can send me any material, any hot tips, gossip, anything you think we need to know. We get a lot of stuff from listeners because, when you have hundreds of thousands of listeners, people know stuff and they'll tip me off. And if you want to be anonymous, you just tell me you want to be anonymous. But I get great intel from listeners like you. You can always email me at mj@mjmorningshow.com or direct message me at Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. So PB writes, "Hey MJ, I'm having an issue that I would love your opinion on and possibly the opinion of the sheriff as well. My husband and I have lived in our home for 3 years and now have a baby girl. He has just built a nice deck and swing in our backyard, and we've been excited to use it. We have been neighbors, however. I think they mean we have neighbors. So I think the bin shouldn't be there. We have neighbors, however, who are constantly smoking marijuana in their backyard right next to us.
Mm-hmm.
The smell is horrible, and I do not want my daughter exposed to it. So we haven't been able to enjoy our latest additions. I know medical marijuana is legal in Florida, so even if this is the case, can they smoke it openly and disturb others? We do not live in an HOA, so that would not be a factor. Do we have a right to be upset? I'm curious about your opinion as well as if they are allowed to do this. Thank you, longtime listener." Again, I'm not going to use the first name because it's not that common. But PB are the initials of this direct message, which I printed out from IG.
All right. So one time I was at a beach, right? I wasn't beached like a whale, or before you make that joke, I'll tell you, I was just sitting there in a chair and I was smoking the biggest, most disgusting smelling cigar. It was delicious. I loved it. But I was putting out a lot of cigar smoke. And there was a family far enough away from me, but apparently they caught a couple of whiffs of my cigar.
Right.
And they were obnoxiously coughing. And I look at them and I kind of smirk. And eventually the mother from a distance said, "Would you mind putting out your cigar?" And I said to her, "Hey, lady, welcome to America. No." And I think the same thing
Right.
is the rule here. Welcome to America. If they're doing it legally, no, tough crap. Enjoy your porch and your gas mask.
Attaway.
Yeah.
Stand up. For
I mean,
yourself.
would
You know
you
what?
disagree?
I want to go to phones on this. So you heard the story. This obviously is a young couple. They just had a baby girl. They built a new deck and a swing, and their next door neighbor, apparently they're outside just partying it up. Just,
Aw.
who knows whether it's recreational, whether it's medical, but they hate the smell, and they don't want to expose their baby daughter to the marijuana smoke. So listen, I'll grab some phone calls on this. I don't know what the law is. If you're not in you're not in an apartment complex, I don't know what you can do here.
I mean, even if it's done without a medical marijuana card, do you think the police are going to waste resources doing a raid on some pothead's house?
It's certainly not the neighborly thing to do, especially the question I would have first, does the neighbor know that the marijuana smoke is bothering you? And
Set up a fan and blow it the other way.
Have you said anything to them? Hey, we're trying to enjoy our outdoor space, but your marijuana smoke is kind of, blowing us out here. So listen, maybe we've got some folks listening in law enforcement. If you're in law enforcement or if you'd like to weigh in on this, what are your thoughts? What are your suggestions? To PB, and her husband and their new baby daughter, who they don't want to be subjected to the neighbor's marijuana waft.
Oh,
That's
PB.
that's wafting over. All right, 800-990-1047. That's how you can weigh in on this. What are your thoughts on it? I thought it was an interesting story from this listener. 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. What would your recommendation? What is your suggestion? Do you have any legal basis as well? Are you in law enforcement? Is there anything they can do? I mean, I would start with, hey, neighbor, the marijuana smoke is bothering us. I mean, maybe you start with that and see if they'll do the nice neighborly thing and not smoke marijuana in the backyard so it, wafts on over and it bothers you. All right. Every line is jammed here. Andrew is screening. Bring up the screener, would you please, Fester?
Sure.
800-990-1047. If you happen to be in law enforcement, maybe you have some thoughts on this matter. 800-990-1047. Let's grab Gail in Tampa first on this. Gail, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. What do you say to PB?
Hi, good morning.
Hey.
First, they should probably go over there and ask them if they could refrain from it while they have the baby outside.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if they don't, be courteous enough to think of the baby's lungs, the guy should go and get 3 big industrial floor fans.
Yep.
That's hard to say. And line them on their side of the yard, and when they're out there smoking, just blast them with the fans.
Yeah, but then you have the fans probably making all kinds of racket, like 120 decibels or something.
Not those big floor fans. All you hear is the blades whirling.
All right.
They don't make a real loud rattle. But I would do that. I would ask them nicely.
Yeah, listen, we're in agreement here, Gail, that at least try having a conversation that the marijuana smoke is bothering us. Gail, thanks for the call. Then you go with the industrial fans. Kenny is on I-75. Kenny, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ, I'm in agreement with the last caller and you that they need to go over and talk to the neighbor, but the neighbor also needs to understand people like me who have commercial driver's licenses can get secondhand smoke, and then you cost somebody their career.
Oh, yeah. So if you're in a wreck and then you get tested and you've got you test positive for marijuana?
Not even in a wreck. If I get tested on random because, that's part of federal DOT.
Yep.
And law enforcement and government jobs. There are people that the medical marijuana cards we're in.
I guess the question I have is, and I don't know much about this, but let's say you're subjected to secondhand smoke. How much secondhand smoke do you have to breathe in or be exposed to, and for how long before you test positive?
If you walk past, my deal is people walking in and out of stores, people be standing outside the store smoking. If I walk through a cloud of smoke, it can cause me to test positive within 3 days.
Wow, Kenny, thanks for the call.
I don't know about that.
It's not like you're getting hot boxed, Kenny. I don't know about the science on that one. pal.
Paranoid there, Ken.
Yeah, sorry,
Let's
Kenny.
grab Anonymous in Newport Richie. Hey, Anonymous.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Anonymous.
I have a similar situation where I have young grandchildren that are with us, but we also like to sit outside and enjoy the weather. I have asthma, and the problem is our next-door neighbor smokes frequently. You can smell it big time, and he's a police officer. So it's kind of like, what do we do?
Oh, man. So your neighbor is a police officer, and he's smoking pot.
Right.
So how does he not get tested by his agency from time to time?
I'm guessing he must have a card.
Yeah. Also, I don't know locally, but I can't pinpoint. I'm sure we could do a Google search, but I thought that I saw that there were some police departments that were not like busting their officers if they recreationally or medically smoke. So I thought I saw something in that. That's an interesting dilemma, Anonymous.
I don't know why they can't just smoke it inside.
Yeah.
You know, if they
People don't
need
want
to
it.
do it, if they want to do it.
Yeah, they probably don't want the smoke in their house and permeating their furniture, so they're going outside.
Yeah,
and
there's a
that's
few
where,
reasons.
That's where. Go ahead, Frog.
I'm just saying, there's a few reasons why people don't want to smoke inside, ma'am.
Right.
If you use your noggin, you can come up with them.
The same argument is, why don't you just sit inside, ma'am?
Meaning you don't want the kids to smell you smoking marijuana?
I don't know.
Yeah, go inside.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's our yard. We should have the ability to go outside in our yard and on nice evenings and, you know, during the afternoon, let the kids play outside while it's nice, not super hot like the summer.
Yep.
We don't blast our music to bother you or do things to bother yourself.
Listen, Anonymous, we got you loud and clear. I appreciate you bringing up the point. It's, you know, an interesting dilemma when the neighbor's a cop and apparently smoking. Savannah in Clearwater. Savannah, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
We are well. Go ahead.
So I just want to respond to the gentleman that was just on air. You cannot test positive by secondhand smoke like that. You would literally have to be like hotboxed in a car for you to test positive.
Yeah.
I have my medical marijuana license. My husband does not smoke, and I mean, I smoke in my house. I, do some other things, in my vehicle as well. But it's like,
Well, wait a second. What other things do you do?
I mean, I smoke in my car too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, with my husband in the car, and he's never tested positive, and he's a truck driver. So he, over the road, he's gone for a week to 2 weeks at a time and, random drug testing.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just so, and as far as the neighbors, work around each other, talk to each other. Hey, if I'm outside smoking, you don't want your baby around it, let's just work around each other. Let's be, not friends, but...
Yeah, and that's my thought is just have a conversation with the neighbor.
Yeah, start there.
About the marijuana smoke that's bothering you. Savannah, thanks for the call.
Have a good day, guys.
You too. Austin, Apollo Beach. Austin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning show. I just I wanted to chime in, and I would.
Did you just generically call us Morning Show?
Good morning show.
Yeah, good morning. Do you know the name of the morning show?
It's MJ Morning Show.
All right, very good. Excellent. Thank you. Just checking. Go ahead, Austin.
I would like to agree with the woman beforehand. I don't agree that being, a couple dozen feet away from your neighbor's house smelling your smoke would really affect you like that. But to chime in on the main question, I really feel like this ties into the First Amendment and the fact that we live in a very free country. I can equal this out to music, provocative music being played next door. If you really don't want your children listening to provocative music that your neighbors are listening to, have them come inside, or start with communication. I really feel like communication is key between human beings.
Yeah, just approach the neighbor first. But also, I don't know if you can equate loud music to marijuana smoke. And I don't know if that's
it's
same
communication.
level.
Communications is key. Is what Austin is saying.
Exactly. So, Austin, we're in absolute agreement there. Thank you, buddy. Chuck is in St. Pete. Look, phones blew up on this. Chuck, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, MJ?
We're well. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, my suggestion would be just put a fan up and blow the smoke towards the neighbor.
Yeah, we've had that suggestion. Well, obviously they're listening.
A fan can't exactly beat the wind. It might divert it from you, but
the only thing I can suggest is
I don't know if you're going to totally dissipate the smell of the marijuana, the skunky smell. And as you know, listen, different marijuana has, different levels of, intensity or skunkiness. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Let me grab Mallory in Bradenton. Mallory, a lot of people have a lot to say on this. Go ahead, Mallory. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, MJ. I just want to say I love your show. I've been watching it forever, since before you came back, and I'm so glad you are.
Thank you.
Yes, and I just wanted to say, as a non-smoker who has always lived with smokers my entire life, it's just something you guys, sometimes you can't avoid it, and otherwise, you definitely can't get tested positive if you're close to it, unless you're hotboxing for hours.
Yeah, you're the second caller to bring that up.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I've had tons of bad neighbors. I live in a horrible neighborhood. Now with all the renting going up and everything, I've had tons of bad neighbors. I totally understand, but you can't pick your neighbor, you know? The only thing you can do is, like you said, ask if you could, pick a time or whatever. It's a free country.
Maybe PB has, a neighbor that would listen and say, hey, we're sorry. We didn't know this bothered you. And maybe, but then again, you can have a bunch of jackasses. They say, screw you. We'll do whatever the hell we want. Mallory, thanks for the call. Have a great day. Andrew, I'm going to take whatever's on hold here, and I'm going to move on because the phones won't stop on this one. If you're just tuning in, and you're wanting to know what's going on, I got a direct message on my Instagram account at Certified MJ Radio. That's my personal Instagram account, Certified MJ Radio. I got a direct message from PB and said they're having an issue with the neighbor. They have a new baby. The husband built a deck and put a swing out back, and the neighbors are out there smoking pot all the time. It's wafting over, and they just don't want their baby exposed to the marijuana, and they don't like the smell. So what do we do? Is this a police issue? They were asking. So I opened up the phones, and that's why we're taking all these phone calls. Hero. By the way, are you a Hero 10, 11, 12? Which hero are you in Port Richey?
I'm the only hero in the world, brother.
All right.
That's my real name. I was named after Procol Harum.
Yeah, I was doing my GoPro joke. The Hero 10, Hero 11, Hero 12.
That's good.
Yeah.
We actually didn't get it.
Man, I wouldn't advertise those
All right, go ahead, Hero. What's the story?
Yeah, well, listen, I would just go over and instead of them being such Karens and Phillips, whatever they want to be and stuff, just go over and just say, hey, listen,
Hey, Hero, you got to speak more clear into your phone. Or
Hero, your phone's a real loser.
I would ask to go over there and just take a hit. I would just ask to go over there and go, all right, Hero.
So, Hero, hang on. Hero, do you smoke a good deal of marijuana yourself?
I do, yeah, I do smoke after work, not while at work, but back in the day, see, all these old people back in the day, they used to be against it, but now when you go to the medical dispensary, 95% of the people in there, they're all like geriatric patients and stuff like that.
Oh, listen, you got plenty of folks in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are smoking doobs all day long. There's no doubt about it. Hero, thank you, buddy. Jessica and Largo. Hey, I'll take Jessica, America, Kenneth, and Sean, and then I got to move on. Jessica, Largo, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Yes, good morning. Yes, they should try and talk to the neighbor, but also try to understand what if the neighbor is renting this house and the people they're renting from doesn't want smoking inside the house.
Yeah.
A bunch of different scenarios,
So-
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've got kids. I don't want my kids around it either, but where I'm staying at, we're not allowed to smoke inside.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're going to run into the smoke outside. So sometimes you're just going to have to suck it up and deal. And
Well, apparently that's the problem. They're sucking up the marijuana smoke. They don't want to. But no, very good point, Jessica. Appreciate it. Let me grab America. Oh, wow. America. Far. We've been traveling far.
Stop.
We're talking to America.
Jesus, stop it
Please.
now. That's all. No. No.
Hello.
That's a no. That's a no.
Hello, America. Go ahead. Did I?
Good morning, America.
Good
gosh.
morning. Good morning, America.
She's heard it all. Just let her get her.
Good morning, America. Hello.
Your name is Amy.
I'm with Fester. Suck it up.
Yeah.
It's America.
It's America.
So, and don't go over and talk to your neighbor because then you will be a Karen. You're just going to have to if it was cigarette smoke, you could smell it just as much. I think people are just being ate up about marijuana. So it's legal if you have a card, and even if you don't have a card, you smell it on the drive. You smell it when you drive anymore. It doesn't matter where you're at, you're going to smell it. But it's nothing different than cigarette smoke, and I'm sure back in the 60s, people didn't call up on the radio and say, oh my God, I smelled cigarette smoke.
That's right.
Get over it.
I think I smell some Luckies.
But America's right here, MJ, where you let's say they have a conversation and it ends badly for the neighbor with the baby in the porch or PB,
Exactly.
And what if the guy says, tough luck? And now there's hostilities.
America, thanks for the call. Kenneth, two more. I'll take Kenneth and Sean. Kenneth in Riverview. Final two calls here on this. Kenneth, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
I think it's time for them to move because we live in an era now where approaching people for the things that they do is just not the best thing in the whole world. And what if the people get combative? You know, and then now they got, like he said a few minutes ago, now they got to deal with the hostility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better if they just moved. If they don't want to be around people, I think they should just move.
But what if
You know,
they
find
own
a
the
place
place?
out in the boonies somewhere.
They built a new deck on the back of the house. They got a
Just
new
move.
swing.
You know who'd be really excited to
Well,
see that deck?
obviously,
Andrew Duncan.
Obviously, they knew they were smoking. They knew they were smoking before they built the porch or built the swing. I mean, you know.
So you want them to call the Duncan duo to get the house listed so they can get out of there?
Kenneth, I think you're right.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, listen,
Instead
Andrew
of sit
Duncan
there and
would
fight
tell
with
you
them.
adding a porch on the back of your house would be a good upgrade, and he's all for it. And let him sell the house and buy acreage.
Kenneth, thanks for the call. Last call on this, and then we move on. Sean in Lakeland. Hey, Sean, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Final call.
Hey, good morning, MJ.
Yep.
Crew. To me personally, I don't smoke, but they should, at least they're at home and they're not driving around doing it, you know. Have some respect for the neighbors, too. Don't do it all the time. And if there's kids out there, don't smoke it, in my personal, point of view.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call. All right, PB, hopefully you're listening. Send me another direct message. If you approach the neighbor and ask them to stop, that it's bothering you, let me know what they say. So follow up with me. And if they do, I will bring the follow-up story to the show as well. Yes, Rox.
I just say spend a lot of time outdoors and you'll get used to the smell, and then it just won't even smell like anything to you. You'll just be immune to it. It'll just be
How spending time outdoors? How's that going to
on their back patio that they like? They're just going to get used to it. They're going to smell it, and then they're not going to smell it. If they smell it enough, then they won't smell it anymore.
For real.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Like horses, right?
Become immune to it. Totally like a farm.
You walk into a horse stall. It's like, oh, it smells like horse crap. But then after you're there for a day or so, you don't even notice that it smells like crap. You're just smelling the crap, right?
You sure about that?
Yeah,
No,
get your
but-
nasal immunity taken care. I mean, just
I don't think it works that way. Yeah.
Like low tide.
Yeah.
You don't even smell the fish.
Cops are looking for this Dunkin' Donuts coffee thrower. This is awful. I mean, you see the picture of this? The guy it's a clear shot of the guy at the drive-thru. So, great. We're making national news again as police up in Newport Richey are looking for a guy that threw hot coffee on a Dunkin' Donuts employee yesterday morning up in Newport Richey. Yeah, and the photos are crystal clear. I mean, the guy is looking right at the camera in the drive-thru window.
You know, MJ, every second you're at these fast food establishments, they have you on camera. I don't know who thinks their picture is not going to be blasted everywhere. Who thinks they're not going to instantly become YouTube famous?
Guess what? If they don't have surveillance angles that get you at the restaurant, then if you're causing a scene, other customers are going to roll video on you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. Dunkin' Donuts at 5524 U.S. Highway 19 in Newport Richey happened about 8:45 yesterday morning, and the suspect apparently was given a cup of coffee, an extra one, for free. And then the customer apparently was angry and threw the hot cup of coffee at the Dunkin' Donuts employee's face. And the employee got blisters from the scalding hot coffee. I mean, can you imagine? This is on the heels and the excitement of the Dung Kings and the whole Super Bowl commercial with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Tom Brady and J-Lo. And you got to ruin that whole vibe now by throwing hot coffee in a Dunkin' Donut employee's face on US 19 in Newport Richey?
Not cool.
Anyway, the suspect driving a silver four-door SUV, according to the NPR police department, and they're looking for anyone with information. Hey, the picture's online. I mean, all the news channels have this thing.
If you know this guy, you'll instantly recognize him. He's a very specific-looking guy.
You know what he looks like? Who's the comedian? George Lopez, maybe? Or
let me see.
He has a very, look. I mean, somebody clearly
Oh, he
knows.
looks like that actor that was in Boogie Nights.
Yeah. Who am I thinking of?
I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
But I know you're talking about.
I mean, somebody clearly can just take one 2-second glance at this photo and say, yeah, you know who this is. I got to believe it's a matter of, that's a battery, man. You throw scalding hot coffee?
Well, yeah, you can't do that.
Well, he did it. All pissed off, so now they're looking for this guy. And I don't know what's going on locally. Fester, you sent me this video.
You're talking about Luis Guzman.
Yes.
Yes.
That's who. That's who.
Luis Guzman.
Yeah,
Luis
exactly.
Guzman. He's been in a bunch of things.
Luis Guzman.
He was Richie Valens' brother in La Bamba.
So
the flying guitar?
Yeah.
So the guy that threw the hot coffee looks like Hispanic actor Luis Guzman. Looks just like him.
Oh, yeah, he really does.
Exactly. So maybe it is
He
him.
was.
Yeah.
He was. Damn it! The father on Wednesday, Gomez.
Really?
He was on Wednesday, the Netflix series.
On the reboot of the Addams Family? And really?
Yes.
Are you sure? I didn't know that.
I never
with,
saw
with,
it.
with Jenna Ortega, he was Gomez.
I don't think
And
that's
then
right.
Fest, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, I'm lying.
you sure?
I'm making it up.
Are you sure?
I only saw Wednesday 6 times with my daughter.
Oh, big fan, huh?
Oh, huge.
All right, if you say so. All right, now, I don't know what's going on, but this is another local story. Fester sent me this video link, and dude, you didn't even realize that it's right here in Clearwater?
So I found it on Reddit, and I found it in the forum on Reddit called The Main Character. And what the main character does is it features people who are the main character of their life for an instant, usually doing something they're going to regret at some point.
And guess what? This video, you sent it to me last night. I saw this about 10:30 last night. I sent Andrew the link to pull the audio, and the video was already removed. Andrew, at 5:30 this morning, Andrew, our producer, goes to pull the audio, and it was pulled off by the user or whoever on Reddit. And luckily, Andrew was able to find it on other social media. But it turns out this mother, do we know anything more about the story? This mother is with her small kid. Bring the video up. Andrew.
Where's the video now? If my link is
it was on Twitter or X now is where Andrew found it. So the mother is standing next to this young child, and they're at Wendy's, and it turns out it's at the Wendy's on Missouri in Clearwater. It's Wendy's at 900 South Missouri, right here in Clearwater. And the mother is yelling at the people behind the counter at Wendy's. Now, we don't know what it's all about, but she is just blasting them with F-bombs and profanity, and then starts throwing stuff off the counter, throwing stuff at him, then goes to the drink table off to the side, where they have the drink machine and they have
all lids and the straws.
They have the sugars, the sweet and lows. They have exactly the straws, the cups, and she just starts throwing stuff everywhere and starts wrecking the place. And again, this is on Missouri and Clearwater at Wendy's. And I had to have Andrew go through this like 9 times to make sure that he didn't miss any of the F-bombs. Here, listen to some of this.
I came in here. You didn't even tell me I'm doing anything to rectify the situation. Not gonna you, bitch. Then you have my face. Somebody give me the number. Who your general manager?
So she's like asking for the manager, the general manager. Give me the number.
Bitch, like I said, every time I come in here, you yelling at somebody. Bitch, I come here every day for my lunch break.
So she says she goes in there every day for her lunch or something.
Eat me, bitch. You can say that shit walking away.
That was like some metal thing off the counter. Just hurls it at the employees behind the counter.
That's awful.
Just wings this at them. You hear the metal clanking? And her kid. Andrew, how old do you think the kid is? What do you think the kid is? 8, 9?
Maybe that.
Yeah. And the mom's going ballistic and just using the F-bomb in every other word.
Now, pick it up, bitch. Pick it all up.
Yeah.
So throwing stuff.
Man.
And they're saying, pick it up, bitch. And,
She's a little rude.
oh, yeah.
Pick the up, bitch. I ain't destroy shit. I'm making it messy in this mother. Call the police. Come.
I mean, we don't know what this is about. We don't know what set her off.
What provoked her?
But a guy was videoing this with his camera. So this is not like an in-store surveillance video. This is another customer who's behind her that's rolling on his camera phone and then posted this online. This goes on for 2 minutes. She's trashing the Wendy's. All right, so this goes on for another 20 seconds. Then the guy who recorded this. So the guy recording it, is that the second one here?
I hear it.
I bet I win you. I need the police right now.
This how you hear me.
Hey, Andrew. I mean, Andrew, do you have the guy that was recording it? He did like a narration.
It's a separate clip. I heard it earlier.
But then the guy employee, was that the guy employee at the end of that as well? All right, so listen to this guy.
All I wanted to do was just order some food. Look what I got to go through.
All right, so that's the guy. Okay, so the one that was posted on Reddit had a little more on it. All right, we didn't get. So at the very end, there's a guy, like almost like a teenage boy, saying that he called the Largo Police Department, but you're in Clearwater, so why'd you call the Largo Police Department when you're in Clearwater? So
that's like a border area between Largo and Clearwater.
So this guy here, this is the dude that's recording, and he's like, all I want to do is
just order some food. Look what I got to go through.
That's the guy that recorded the lady trashing the Wendy's. So
all he wants is some Wendy's, chicken nugs and a Baconator.
For real, some
Dave's
chili.
Deluxe, and a cup of chili, a potato. Where else can you get a potato in the middle of the day?
What a Frosty?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Man, but folks are just going nuts. And we don't know what set this lady off.
No clue.
So if anyone has any, do you work at Wendy's at 900 South Missouri in Clearwater? Do you know what set this lady off? Or if the guy that was just trying to get some food.
All I wanted to do was just order some food. Look what I got to go through.
Hey, dude, if you're listening to the show, call us up. Give us a little insight. What set this lady off? So this video is posted online, and we find out that it's right here in Clearwater where this happened. She's flinging trays on the way out. She's just trashing the place.
Wow.
And might I say, what an excellent example she's setting for her young son.
So, other than making a disturbance, or what's the charge here? She's right. She didn't destroy anything.
No, disturbing the peace, vandalism. Oh, they can hit her with a bunch of things. Oh, yeah, they could come up with watch this video and they can. Hey, how about a battery? She flung some kind of metal object at an employee behind the counter. That's a battery. Oh, that's probably 5 charges.
According to this woman, she goes here every day. She's going to have to find a new place for lunch. I mean, if I go to a restaurant every day.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go there once a week, I'm not making a scene.
I don't think you're going back to that Wendy's anytime soon.
Yeah.
I want to hit the BK down the street. All right. By any chance, is the guy that videoed that listening?
Or the woman.
800, or the woman.
Yeah, I want to talk to her.
800-990-1047. Or if anyone knows the backstory here.
I mean, if you go to Wendy's every day, you know what to get.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. And then, again, I don't know what's going on with fast food restaurants, but we've got 2 stories. We got the Dunkin' Donuts up in Newport Richey where the guy threw the hot coffee in the woman's face yesterday morning. We got the freak out at the Wendy's. This one is not local. This is up in Boston. And this was at a McDonald's, and a customer at a Boston McDonald's got all ticked off when the employee at McDonald's touched the lid on his drink and then slugs the McDonald's worker in the face for touching his lid.
Man, don't touch my lid.
You know what?
That pissed me off too.
I've been at a fast food place before where they've handed me a cup and their finger was in the cup.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I was like,
And you decked him.
You know,
can I get
Butterfingers.
another cup without your? I've had that.
You can
before.
ask for that.
I'll tell you what bothers me.
Yeah.
And we might have brought this up on the show in the past. What bothers me when you're at a restaurant and you're at a full service restaurant and you're sitting down and the waiter, waitress, server, whatever, they're bringing the waters by or the drinks by and they're holding it on the rim. They're like grab with their fingers are all on the rim instead of holding the bottom of the cup and touching, the rim of where you're going to put your mouth to drink the water or the soft drink, whatever. That drives me crazy. I hate that.
You know what irritates me is when they bring you your glass of wine and then they take a sip right before they hand it to you and you can see their saliva on the outside of the glass.
Hold on, what?
What?
What are you talking
Where do
about?
they do that?
Listen, I know we're a comedy show, Roxanne, but
I thought you were serious.
I'm gonna have to. You need to submit stuff. No, I'm kidding.
I need to what?
I felt for it.
Submit stuff prior.
No, you need to be less gullible is what it sounds like.
You totally had me.
I mean,
No, you didn't. I'm like, what are you talking about?
all right. Give me this.
So yeah, touching lids. But if you're a server, do not touch the customer's glasses on the rims. Don't hang, and you'll see them pick them up, and like all their fingers and thumbs are like completely surrounding the rim of the glass, and they're putting it down. Touch the glass in the middle or the bottom, and put it down that way. I'm just saying. What time? 8:28 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, MJ and the crew. Hey, this ought to make it all better. You know the AT&T outage last week?
Yeah.
AT&T's going to credit their customers $5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, your phone didn't work from 4 a.m. until, in some cases, the end of the day. Some people had service out for like over 12 hours.
That seems like the appropriate amount. I mean, how much is a cell phone?
Well, it depends what plan you're on. And,
so let's say your cell phone's $100 a month. I mean, or $40 a month, whatever it is. $5 for half a day seems like the appropriate monetary amount.
Yeah, AT&T, of course, is blaming that nationwide outage last Thursday on a software error, some kind of an error in coding. They didn't elaborate any further, but some kind of software update, some kind of middle of the night deal, some kind of error in coding caused a massive swath of AT&T's wireless network to go down. And now the company is compensating customers with a $5 credit to be applied to your account.
Yep, that's perfect.
According to AT&T, $5 is the average cost for a full day of service.
Yeah.
That's the average.
So, I mean, what were people expecting? I mean, $100?
A brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max Plus, whatever the hell
We'll
it's
give
called.
you a $5 credit, days on us. That's it. That's all you can ask
That's
for.
apparently what they're doing, $5 credit. So look for that on your bill.
When you say it like that, it sounds really cheap. Doesn't sound like much at all, but
Hey,
that's what it's worth.
I got an interesting little issue here I want to run by you.
Ooh, I like
So,
this.
I've been using a tree guy, and he does a really good job. Got this tree guy, right? And he's like cut the trees and my palms and everything. He's done stuff in my house for 10 years, at least 10 years. And I've used him a bunch of times, and the guy does really good work. I like his work. So it's time for my palms to be trimmed again. But again, it's the same amount of work. And over the years, I pulled my old records, and I've always paid him between $800 and $1,300. You know, he's got to get up on, I've got a Canary Island date palm. He's got to work on the pineapple, cut the dead stuff. But anyway, the most I paid ever was $1,300. And I've got all the records. I know that everything. So it's time for my stuff to be done again. And he rolled out on Saturday, apparently, to give me an estimate. And we had already left for Billy Joel, but he said, yeah, I can just swing by. And I'm like, you really don't need to come by. It's just the same stuff you've done.
You've worked the house 20 times.
Yeah,
already.
you've done the house a bunch of times. But I guess he rolled by, and then he sent me a text yesterday, and he's like, all right, I can get to it next week, $2,300. I'm like, what? So the same work is $1,000 more than the most I've ever paid him for the same work. So listen, I get a little bit of inflation. All right, the fuel costs are up, maybe insurance costs. I get it. A couple of $100, but how do I justify? And listen, I like this guy. Guy's a nice guy. He does good work. But what is the justification? I sent him a text back, and I got to follow up a little more here. But, I said, listen, I pulled my old records, and, the jobs you've done range from $800 to $1,300. I said, I understand prices going up with inflation, but $1,000 more than the most expensive job? And then he said, I totally understand, but $2,300 is the best I can do. But how, from a year ago, for the same work, how do you justify $1,000 increase on cutting my trees?
I mean, there's a couple different ways. One,
okay, Mr. Justifier, go ahead, please.
He may have enough jobs to raise the price to weed out the low-paying jobs.
True.
So what it appears is he's just moving his rates up.
Yeah, like everybody.
Yeah, but listen, I've been a customer for a decade plus.
You don't get grandfathered in with some kind of deal?
But really, $1,000. I can't do that. I mean,
we're gonna have crappy trees.
Does my relationship end?
No.
At this point?
Here's what you tell him.
Yeah.
Here's what you tell him. Say, hey, listen, I'm not ready to do the job just yet. Get 3 other offers and see if he's in the ballpark by people who you think. And then if his price is comparable to the other 3 offers you get, you love talking to every Tom, Dick, and Harry neighbor of yours as you're walking the block. Find out who some of the people.
Listen,
Get some names.
I know who they are.
Okay, fine.
There's another company I see in the neighborhood that's ridiculously expensive.
Okay, so he's not that guy.
No, he's not.
So,
but he made good money. He did good work. But I just can't justify paying $1,000 more a year later for the same work. I mean, maybe it's just time I find somebody else that's a little more reasonable. But I also need to find a good.
Sure.
I don't want my palms butchered. You got to use a new chainsaw blade or one that's been soaked in the bleach and disinfected, so you don't pass along any potential tree virus.
Listen, tree guys run the gamut.
Yeah.
From hacks.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Artisans.
Right.
So figure out where you put this guy on that spectrum. 1 being a hack, 10 being exquisite work, and pay him accordingly. Or get other estimates.
The point that, listen, I
That's
thought
great business advice. That's great advice.
I thought I've always paid him accordingly. I paid him what I've paid him what he's always asked. And then, but $1,000 more 11 months or 12 months later, that's tough to swallow. $1,000 more for the same job.
People are upping their service costs for everything.
I know. I'm willing to give him a couple of $100 more, but not $1,000 more.
And he's willing not to do your job.
That's right.
Okay.
That's his prerogative,
right.
And it's my prerogative as well.
You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You can live your life.
What the hell was that?
My Prerogative by Bobby Brown.
I thought you were going to sing My Life. I thought you could have sang My Life by Billy Joel. We just had the stupid concert.
Is there a car squeal at the beginning of that song?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's like right?
Yeah.
My prerogative.
You can do what you want to do.
Man, you know what? Life's just difficult these days, man.
You know what's really difficult? Froggy trying to impersonate Bobby Brown.
What are you talking about?
That's the worst Bobby Brown ever. You sound like a robot here.
Elon Musk says that he's going to make good on the bakery, this small businesswoman that got screwed by making like $16,000 worth of pies. This is a terrible story.
What kind of pies?
A small business owner in San Jose says that her pie shop is out thousands of dollars after Tesla unexpectedly canceled an order for thousands of mini pies.
What?
Yeah. Voahangi Rasa Ternera owns Giving Pies in San Jose's Willow Glen neighborhood. Each pie is carefully assembled by hand in small batches. Despite that, the bakery has managed to put together orders for large corporations like Apple, Google, and Intuit. On Valentine's Day, the bakery got a last-minute order request from Tesla for 2,000 pies to be delivered on Tuesday, day before Valentine's Day, which was what, Wednesday, right? And so half on Tuesday, the other half on Thursday. So she agreed, and then she was waiting for Tesla to pay, but then Tesla canceled at the last minute.
That's a crappy thing to do.
Bite your tongue, big man.
Elon,
I do what I want.
You don't order $16,000 worth of pies just to cancel, Elon.
I wasn't hungry.
So she claims she's out $16,000. Now, Elon.
Yes.
First of all, I don't think Elon canceled the order himself.
No, I think he did. I think he picked up the phone.
Yeah, I don't think so. But Elon is now promising to make things good.
I make things better.
Yeah. Just hearing about this will make things good with the bakery, Musk said on X, formerly Twitter, in response to the canceled order. Musk's company ditched an order for 4,000 mini pies from this Giving Pies. It's a black-owned bakery in San Jose.
Great.
The
Canceling
owner,
a black-owned bakery in the middle of Black History Month. Fantastic.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, seriously.
That's right. Yeah, the owner told Kron TV, Kron, that her bakery received the last-minute order for 2,000 pies on Valentine's Day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the cancellation at the last minute. The cancellation comes in, and she'd already made most of the pies. Apparently,
that's a really crappy thing to do, Elon.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, well, hold on.
What?
So
Yes.
they ordered 2,000, then they upped the order. They got a call, someone at Tesla, then bumped the order from 2,000 pies to 4,000 pies.
Double the pies.
Elon, what kind of pies did you even get?
Oh, please. Lemon meringue. Chocolate mousse.
Anyway, so Elon Musk is now saying
Ruboob.
that he's going to make, I mean, first of all, 16 grand. Really? Do you know what 16 grand to Elon Musk is?
It's like lint in my toes. It's nothing.
It's less than lint between your toes.
Lint in my belly?
Yeah, $16,000. And I got to get Chloe on the phone. Chloe was at dinner in St. Pete last night, and I guess the table next to her or behind her tried to pull some kind of a dinner scam to try to, get the whole check for free, which I thought was pretty lousy, pretty rude. Hold on a minute. Let me call Chloe. Hopefully she's up. She should be up because she's got to study for the LSAT all day long.
Hello.
Morning, Chloe.
Hi.
Are you awake?
No.
Well, you should be because you got an LSAT studying to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's 8:40 at the MJ Morning Show. So, Chloe, can you tell us the story on the air about what you witnessed? So you're out to dinner with your friend last night, and you were in St. Pete, and the couple, were they next to you, behind you? Where was this other table?
They were behind me, but my friend could see them.
All right, now what was the name of the restaurant you went to?
Bonu, Bonu.
Hold on.
Bonu? You let a guy take you to a restaurant named Bonu?
Sorry.
What a closing move that is.
Wait a minute, Chloe, what's the name of the restaurant again?
Bonu.
Just spell it.
Bonu.
Okay, Fester, bring it up on Google, would you please? So Bonu so it's Bonu.
Bonu Taverna. And it's the best Italian. Yeah, it's
an Italian restaurant
in
St. Pete.
Looks like a great place.
Gotcha. And Chloe said it was good. So you enjoyed dinner, right?
Yes.
So you and your friend, you guys had a nice dinner at Bonu, Taverna Italiana. Where is this? On 4th? Yeah. Where is it?
It's looks like it's in the Central Avenue district.
Okay. All right. So you guys are having dinner, and what did you witness with this table behind you?
I was yapping away. I was just yap to my friend. Then I noticed that they're trying to focus on something else. So I'm like, what the heck? And so then they kind of like that there's something going on behind me. So then I kind of slowly turn around to look and listen. And it's this couple, and I'm just hearing them saying, like, we only enjoyed the bread. We liked nothing else. And
we only like the bread?
Yes. They were trying to get their meal for free.
Oh,
they
man.
ate everything, and they were trying to say that they didn't enjoy the
So they ate every single thing, and then they tried to say they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you and your friend had dinner, and you liked it. You thought it was great.
Yes, and paid for it.
Yeah, and you guys paid for it.
So did they end up getting a discount on their meal? Did their scam work?
They were in an argument, and I guess it was with the manager, I want to say.
Okay.
And the manager ended up just kind of not giving up, but just saying, like, look, like, it's whatever, just never come back here again.
Well, so the manager kind of acquiesced?
That's awful.
So.
And then the manager, well, listen, I think the manager was justified. So the manager said, well, then just leave and please don't come back again?
Yeah.
The
Bone you would like to say screw you?
No, it's Banu. Oh. And listen, Chloe, I'm looking at the picture. It looks like a nice place. Mm-hmm. And Chloe, you enjoyed your dinner. Your friend enjoyed dinner, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure he lives in St. Pete, so he's been there before, right?
No. It's a new restaurant.
Oh, it's new.
Both of us.
All right. So, again, but your perception is that this couple, they were operating a racket, that they were just trying to get their food for free.
Yeah.
So did you notice if they ate everything?
That sucks. That's terrible.
That's the awful part.
Yeah.
That the manager is even in this position to deal with these customers in the first place. I mean, the manager did maybe the right thing. Yeah, my right thing would have been call the police, get them the hell out of here. They're stealing my food.
Yeah, Chloe?
At one point, I heard the manager say, like, I get this is probably really embarrassing for you guys. So
good.
I was just like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, listen, I'm looking at the pictures, and the food looks really good at this place. And you know what? It sounds like just a classic racket of order a lot of food and then complain. Who complains at the very end? After you've eaten everything and the plates are all cleaned off, and then you complain that you didn't like stuff? I mean, that's a grifter deal right there.
It really is.
That is a grifter.
Were they gypsies?
It's like a grifter gypsy racket going on.
Were these people living in that tent city under the interstate?
What was that? Remember that TV show with Eddie? What's that guy? Eddie, who now he changed sexes now. Eddie, what's his name? There was
changed sexes?
Yeah.
Which way did he go?
The actor, he went from male to female, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a show about grifters. It was a really good show.
Oh. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea. Anyway.
No.
Listen,
Chloe, I was in downtown St. Pete on Saturday. It was packed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't there on Saturday. She was there on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
Yeah, she was there.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
well,
this is last night.
Last night.
It was still packed on Sunday.
I never make it down to St. Pete because I work here. I just never go there, but it was a vibe.
Yeah.
There was
I feel bad for this Banu and having to deal with customers that clearly went in with some kind of racket to not pay.
And like their bill, I also heard the manager saying like your bill is over $215.
Whoa! Hang on, the bill. You heard them say the check was over $200.
Yeah.
So they ordered all kinds of stuff, and they try to. Oh, what a racket! What a bunch of grifting sons of. Wow.
Yeah, which. Oh, alarm's going off.
Yeah, I hear that.
Kind of crazy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, my alarm was going off.
Yeah.
Tell us again.
Which is kind of crazy because I didn't think the menu was like that expensive. Like the dishes were reasonably priced. I didn't really look at the drinks because I'm not drinking right now.
Yeah, they ordered a lot of food and then tried to complain about everything, and that was a premeditated plan to go in there, eat their food, and then try to complain and wiggle out of there without paying. And that's apparently that sucks. I feel really bad for this place.
Yeah.
They should have went with the fake choke.
We only enjoyed the bread.
Yeah, that's some low rent stuff.
That sucks. What'd you say, Frog?
They should have went with the fake choking incident to
Oh, yeah.
get out of it. Sometimes that works.
We're at the end of the meal, right? We're about to get.
On a piece of bread or something?
That's the only part they enjoyed, apparently.
That's also not the restaurant's fault either if you choke.
No.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
All right, Chloe. I'm sorry you had to witness that.
It's okay.
But you give Banu Taverna Italiana a thumbs up, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And how do we rate the guy?
Yeah, that took you to bone you.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, no.
I think it's Banu. All right, Chloe. Goodbye.
Interesting.
Bye.
All right, let's get a good. She hung up.
Oh.
Give her a little LSAT pep talk here before we go. When we get back, oh man! So American Airlines did it. Now they're all following suit. So American just did it. Now everyone else is jumping on the bandwagon. Also, what food are you eating that's worse than like eating candy all day? What
I don't know. I eat
seriously.
candy all day.
What regular food are you eating that's worse for your teeth than eating candy all day? I'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Oh, I've got another restaurant story. I've got a crazy restaurant cancellation story. All right, hold on, folks. It's 8:47 at the MJ Morning Show. We're back with another long chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. So don't move. We're loaded. And, of course, this brings to an end over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ here on Q105. Stand by.
see his wrinkles. He's gotta play it cool to seal the deal. Better find a way to smooth things over. If only Harry used some bounce to drive. Yeah, he would be less wrinkly and winning at life.
We secretly put the Bounce Dryer Street commercial in on the Q105 music library. Let's see if anyone notices. You imagine?
Wow.
What if we secretly just put that in?
I don't know if anybody would even notice.
You know what? We ought to try that. Just load up the Q105 jingles. Hang on, and just like on the weekend, we just the jingle rolls, right? You get one of the the Q105 jingles, like something like
Mason Dixon, Q105. Harry's meeting clients from far away.
We just put the Bounce Dryer Sheet commercial in. What do you think?
I like it.
See if anyone notices. Oh, speaking of laundry, I got to get Michelle on the phone. Well, I think we have time. I read a story that is really interesting, that we are using way too much detergent.
That's interesting, because I always wonder how that might be kind of bad for your skin.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get Michelle on the phone.
But you want your clothes to smell good.
No, we are using way too much. That like a gallon jug of like Tide or whatever, or All, or whatever the hell you're using, that should really last you like a whole year. Seriously. That
No.
Yeah.
Why do they give you that big cup?
Hang on a minute.
With the line.
Oh, what's Michelle doing?
She's not answering her phone.
No, she's not. Hey, Michelle, are you awake? Michelle, if you're awake, call my cell phone or something. But you gotta. What's today? Today, 9:00 on Monday. Yeah. I mean, Michelle should be around. But listen to this. This is from Raj Punjabi and Noah Mickelson, and they're co-hosts of the Am I Doing It Wrong podcast.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll give that a listen.
There's some podcast called Am I Doing It Wrong podcast, and they're saying that Americans grossly overuse the amount of Look how I did that segue. From the little joke from the Josie's on a Vacation Far Away song to the Tide little bounce spoof, now to a laundry story. Look at that.
Would have been better if you didn't point it out.
But is that not? That's highly crafted right there.
You were about to say genius, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. Yeah. All right, so here's the deal. Listen to this. They say that, first of all, the only washing machine cycle that you ever need to use is the express cycle. They're saying you do not need to use those longer cycles. Use the express cycle or the fastest cycle on your washing machine.
What?
And that dryer sheets, which is the Bounce commercial we just read, that dryer sheets are our enemy. So here's what they say. Here's what they say about laundry detergent. You only need to use about 2 tablespoons of detergent for a load. So a bottle of laundry detergent might last you a year because you only need a couple of tablespoons for your clothes to come out clean. That's according to this Patrick Richardson. He's the laundry evangelist. So Raj Punjabi and Noah Mickelson, they do this HuffPost Am I Doing It Wrong podcast, and they had this guy Patrick Richardson on, who apparently is like the laundry king, the laundry evangelist. And he's saying that we are spending way too much money on laundry detergent, and the laundry detergent manufacturers, they have us all trained that you got to use a whole damn cap full because they want you to go through the stuff faster, so you have to buy another big jug of this crap faster.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And let me try Michelle again, because Michelle is a laundry expert.
I want to hear what it says about dryer sheets, why they're our enemy.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Hang on.
They're toxic, I bet, because I told you I almost ate one time, or ate the ingredients in one.
Hello.
Hey, are you listening?
Yes.
All right, what do you think here? I mean, this guy.
We do use too much laundry detergent.
Say it again.
We do use too much laundry detergent, but
Well-
I don't like to back it down because you're filthy and make sure your clothes get clean.
Michelle, listen.
Well, I know.
This laundry expert, Patrick Richardson, he says use 2 tablespoons, and you don't have to use any other cycle other than the express cycle.
Yeah, I've been reading that for a while.
Listen to this. He likened too much laundry detergent to using too much salt when you're cooking. He says when you're cooking, and the recipe says half a tablespoon of salt, and you put it in, it's delicious. But if you I love salt, and you put in a whole cup, it's ruined, is what he says.
Yeah, I don't know about the clothes being so ruined, or
And he also says the pods. He says the pods, don't use the pods.
Yeah, I'm not a pods fan.
He says-
I like it for the kids when they're away. It's easy.
He says the dirt and germs come off the clothes and go into the water. They get trapped in the surfactant compounds in the detergent that lift the dirt and stains from the clothes. And then when the rinse comes, the surfactant goes down the drain. If you use too much detergent, it can't rinse out. So the surfactant actually resettles back in your clothes, and all of the dirt settles back into your clothes with it.
This is some deep laundry talk.
I also read that you should run it twice because technically, when you run it the first time and you're washing your clothes, then you're just like washing your clothes in dirty water because, once the tub is filled with the water and it's like agitating, like all that dirt is just,
Michelle, listen.
running around in there. So.
Why don't you try this?
No.
What do you mean no? He's the laundry king.
Michelle,
I don't care who he is.
Michelle, do you have a subscription to like Laundromat Monthly?
No, but I do a lot of laundry research.
In your laundry laboratory? Where?
No, I read a lot about it because I want to make sure I'm using the right, detergent and the right stuff. And I like.
What was the? Hold on. What's the
water is so terrible. So if you don't use like a whitener or the Calgon to soften it, then your clothes after a while get really stiff and gross, and I hate that.
You hear what she said? You heard what she said. The Tampa water is just terrible. It
It's
is.
just full of stuff.
Tampa water sucks. Yeah.
Something.
So Michelle uses all kinds of the Calgon and the what's that white one you use?
White out.
Yeah, whatever it is. But seriously,
White bright.
And then what's the detergent you had me running all over town for, and you couldn't find it, and you had to order it online?
Oh, because Purcell is invading the nation, so it's competing with Tide now. It came over from from Europe, so.
And that's Purcell, but there was they have some at Walmart, but then there was another one that you couldn't find.
They don't sell the clear one anywhere. You got to order it online.
All right, anyway, hey, just try this. Try doing our laundry only on the express cycle and only using 2 tablespoons and see what happens.
Nope, not doing it.
Why? Listen, the laundry king says try it.
Who made him the laundry king? He anointed himself on the laundry king?
He's the laundry evangelist.
Well, does he tell you how much laundry you should put in the washing machine? Because also when the washing machine repairman came, he told me, he said, you know what, most people overfill it because you think you can fill that thing all the way to the, where the rim is. He goes, no.
Yeah.
Because you can only put about 3/4 in.
All right.
You don't say.
So that's also why you're using too much detergent because you shouldn't be filling it all the way.
All right.
Listen
never
to
fill that
Michelle. She's going to have a coup with the laundry king over here. She's going to overthrow him.
All right, listen, this is important stuff. This is stuff that people really care about,
I care about laundry.
I know you do. That's why I'm doing the story. That's why I called you.
Who wants to have smelly clothes?
I thought you were horrible at laundry. Like didn't you put a hole in a shirt from Billy Mays or something like that? Billy
Oh,
Mays.
Chloe.
Well, that was
a little
Chloe.
messy brat, two-year-old brat, ruining up her wipes, and then I pasted it on there.
Yeah, burned a hole in
overnight.
Burned a hole right through it.
Yeah, Michelle put the OxyClean on, but put like a whole mound of it and let it sit on the clothing for over.
If you make it like a paste, right, then it'll take out like the worst stains, but it'll also eat the clothes.
Yeah, I think it's
Stain's
meant for
definitely gone.
It's meant for like carpet and blood stains.
It was like a magnifying glass on a hot sunny day on a leaf.
Oh.
Burned a hole right in the shirt.
Yeah, you're great at laundry.
All right, sweetie.
So who really knows about laundry?
Yeah, all right,
Someone
goodbye.
who's been experimenting like that? Yeah.
All right, goodbye, sweetie.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, all right. So Americans started it, and now everyone's following. Monkey see, monkey do. United Airlines now said they're raising their fees on checked bags. This is after American started the whole thing with new bookings. It's effective like, I think now or maybe it's like in March or something. But American is raising the price from $30 to $35 if you pre-book and prepay for your checked bag online. And then if you wait to do it at the counter at the airport, American's jamming you up to $40 a checked bag. Listen, if this is not an incentive to carry on and not overpack, I mean, I don't know what a better incentive is. So now you've got United Airlines is also following suit. So you had American, then JetBlue, and now United is jacking up their baggage fees as well. You know, where does it end? Are you going to be at 50, 75, $80 for a bag?
In a decade, at $5 each click, yeah,
Jeez.
pretty soon you will be.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, did you ever check to see what bag that is you use?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you ever figure out what bag that is that you use?
Yeah,
We said it on the air,
we
right?
use Luggage Works.
Yeah, you mentioned one that the pilots use, but
Yeah.
you couldn't remember what model.
No. Luggage Works pretty much makes all pilots' bags. But the model we have is like the Stealth or something. I don't know. It's the bag that most pilots have, and a pilot buddy of mine is the one that told me to get the bag. Yeah, so we use Luggage Works, but because that's you can carry it on if you get the right size. It fits in the overhead, it fits in the bins and all that. But you got to be. Fester? Yeah, it's Luggage Works.
Yeah, Luggage Works. This is their Stealth line.
Yeah.
And
But you got to get the right size.
Yeah, I mean,
the one that I think it's like the 22-inch.
22-inch rolling bag
Yeah,
right here.
it's like the Stealth 22-inch.
They have a couple different ones.
Yeah, I think that's what we have.
The 22-inch expands to where you can actually stuff a dead midget in it.
Dead midget?
I mean, a full-size dead midget, not a really small one.
Oh, man, speaking of that, someone said that Dave the Dwarf's in the hospital again.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, we got to check. We got to check on Dave the Dwarf.
I talked to him for the first time in a long time a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we got to check in with him. So, all right. I don't know where the luggage increases for a checked bag. If these prices going up and up and up don't dissuade you, or you don't learn how to carry on and just have a carry-on suitcase and then a personal item, the bottom line is people overpack. If you're going on a 2-week vacation, you pack for a week or less. And depending on the application, Chloe and I, we went scuba diving. I didn't need to bring anything. I didn't bring dress clothes. We went with a backpack and a duffel.
You must have looked like so sloppy. No dress clothes.
I'm at a resort that I'm scuba diving 4 times a day. I don't need to dress
don't you all
up.
go to dinner together and stuff?
Yeah, you're in a restaurant on the resort property, and when we're going into town,
have some class.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Bring a tux to a scuba diving vacation.
I'm talking about.
Dude, if you were like the tuxedo scuba diver, you would go so viral.
Yeah.
All right, so let me talk about your dental health here. This is important stuff as well. Tell you, we're just chock full of laundry tips, dental tips. Guess what dentists and dental professionals are saying? Guess what's even worse for your teeth? Which food is even worse for your teeth than candy?
Oranges.
Tuna.
It's carbohydrates. It's like pastas and breads.
Really?
Yep. Listen to this. If you're a carboholic, alert, that the foods that you think are somewhat healthier for you, they're worse in many cases on your teeth, your enamel, than, if you just, sucked on sweet tarts all day long. Or what was the sugar stick that you dipped in the sugar?
Fun Dip.
Fun dip.
Yeah, that's what I do with my kids. I said, I said, don't even worry about eating your bread. No, don't eat the bread. Just eat some Fun Dip.
That's Kid Coke.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Valentine's Day.
You imagine, it's a sugar stick and you dip in sugar to eat the sugar.
Yeah.
My son brought home Valentine's from other classmates, and
Right.
he got like 6 of these Fun Dips.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't seen these in forever. And
Yeah.
they were all in the Valentine's.
They're fun.
You know what's crazy is my kid got a couple of those and they're trying to eat them. They're like, Mom, can we please try this? I said, no, it's toxic. It's terrible for you.
Well, it's not
basically poison.
toxic.
No, but I'm trying to steer them away from
Yeah,
it. So
just
now
right.
they think their friends gave them poison.
Yeah, I mean, which is really responsible parenting.
Dude, you're screwing with your kids' heads.
Yeah, it's
so you're
really-
telling your
Don't eat that,
kids
it's
that you're telling your kids that their friends are giving them poison?
It's a terrible mother right there.
Yeah, what's the next?
Hey.
What are you gonna empty out the Fun Dips and put like Ajax cleanser in there
Just to prove a point.
just to prove a point?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're
You
going
know,
to
when
jail.
I was a kid, I could have sworn that the Fun Dip was also called like Lick-a-Made or something.
Yeah,
That
they
sounds
had a
right.
version.
Was that? Am I right?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
But I
yeah.
think Fun Dip. But I think it was the same product. But I think it was Lick-a-Made, and I just remember that there was that white sugar stick, and that was like in the middle, and then on each end there were like the different like sugar powders, like like it was like Kool-Aid,
So Lick-a-Made is the manufacturer.
Oh, that's what it
and
is.
Fun
Okay.
Dip is the name of that
Oh, so
specific
it
product.
still is Lick-a-Made Fun Dip. There you go.
Yes.
Meanwhile. just give your kids a 4-pound bag of Domino sugar. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
just hand them that.
Wow. Roxanne's taking the Fun Dip and just putting little spoons and doing bumps out of it. And she's like, nope,
Yeah.
it's toxic.
Toxic.
But here's the deal: sticky, bready, fermentable carbohydrates
Like sourdough?
not like white bread.
Oh, okay.
Just white
Okay.
white bread, pastas, chips, cereal, crackers. They are worse for your teeth than candy, according to dental professionals.
In what quantity? I mean, it does not seem ridiculous. You're telling me that a bowl of pasta is worse for your dentition than a bag of Fun Dip?
What is dentition?
Your mouth, your,
Is
your
that a
mouth full
word?
of teeth. Yes.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Wow.
Well, the reason why is that the fermentable carbohydrates is because they specifically break down into sugars while they're still being chewed in your mouth.
Listen, I don't know. Last time I went to see my dentitionist, I eat a lot of candy and I eat a lot of breads and pastas. And he's like, all right, they look good. Keep flossing.
Your dentitionist is steering you wrong.
Yeah.
Those specific carbs make the mouth more acidic because the saliva is working overtime to remove the gummy food off your teeth. So it increases your saliva production, and then it's that carbohydrate filled food that apparently is putting more sugars on your teeth than even eating candy, is what they're saying.
How come everybody in Italy is not toothless?
All right, here's an example.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, seriously, between the pastas and the breads.
Whitney DeFogio, who is a registered dental hygienist, she says that parents will often think that giving their kids, the Pepperidge Farm goldfish,
right,
is better than like giving the kids a handful of Skittles. But she's like, no, the Skittles are probably better for your kids' teeth than the goldfish.
That's impossible. You chew the Skittles, the wear and tear that the Skittles will do to
Listen,
your mouth.
if you take it up with DeFogio, okay?
Just saying. I mean,
call DeFogio.
Get DeFogio on the phone.
Oh, Fogio yourself.
I mean, what in the world can we feed our kids nowadays that's not bad for them? Strawberries, got tons of pesticides all over them.
Screw the kids. I'm worried about myself. I love candy.
They say that dark chocolate is actually very good for your teeth because it's easily rinsed off.
Ugh.
And also foods that require heavier biting and chewing. So crunchy vegetables like carrots, celery are good. Whole grains are generally better than, obviously, processed carbohydrates. But again, it's the sugars that are in the carbohydrates. Listen, you've heard the deal that people with like high blood sugar, people that are diabetic, they're told to cut back on pastas, even rice. They're told to cut back.
I have something to blow your mind.
Okay, blow
Do
away.
it. Blow.
Blow, Roxanne.
Blow!
Do you know what's good for
Calm down,
your
Froggy.
teeth? You know what's good for your teeth?
Blow.
And I tell people this all the time. They're like, Roxanne, your teeth are so white. What do you do? And I'm just like, lots of coffee and red wine. Red wine is actually good for your teeth. It prevents plaque-causing bacteria to stick to your gum tissue, helps prevent periodontal disease.
That's what the song's about.
What song is that?
Red wine.
Red wine.
Good for your teeth.
Make your teeth shine.
But that fits into this story because it's another counterintuitive thought. Like you wouldn't think that candy is better for your teeth than bread and pasta. You wouldn't think that red wine is better for your teeth than white wine, which it is.
There is the owner of a restaurant, and this is another restaurant story which I teased. This restaurant owner is getting a lot of bad press right now because a response that they sent a customer that had to cancel their reservation has gone viral because the customer got so peeved, posted this on social media, and this has caused like this unbelievable backlash against the restaurant. People were flooding Google with 1-star reviews for this restaurant that they shut off their Google. They like reported to Google that the restaurants were closed in order to stop the bad reviews from coming in. And the restaurant, I guess they've got a couple of locations up in Boston, and it's called Table. Table, like the kitchen table.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Now, here's the problem. A customer made a reservation, but then had to cancel the reservation. And the owner of Table sent a text to the customer who had to cancel the reservation that read, I just wanted to personally thank you for screwing over my restaurant and my staff when you disputed your cancellation fee. I really hope in the future you have more respect for restaurants, especially small businesses such as mine. Pathetic. So the customer apparently got very sick and had to cancel the reservation, I guess outside of the cancellation window.
Right.
And the restaurant has a cancellation fee. You know, more and more restaurants are requiring that you put a credit card down to reserve the reservation. And restaurants will have like a $25 or a $50 cancellation fee, sometimes per person.
Yeah, a lot of the restaurants at Disney, if you don't go, it's a $10 per person fee.
Cancellation fee.
Yeah.
So this person got sick, and then the restaurant owner and chef just went ballistic, and the customer then posted the response on social media, and people are just bombarding this restaurant Table with bad reviews, like 1-star reviews, and you suck, and this and that.
When you say sick, how sick did the customer get? Or did they just forget their reservation or cancel too late or something?
The social media accounts of celebrity chef Jen Royal and her 3 Table eateries went private or were deleted Friday after a user on X, formerly Twitter, shared screenshots of a spat between him and the owner over Instagram. Yelp also said that it was monitoring Table's page on the Business Review website after the restaurant was seemingly review bombed with 1-star reviews, many of the users citing the screenshots on X as the reason for the review. And Royal's main restaurant, Table, was listed as permanently closed on its Google card, while Table Cafe said it was temporarily closed on Friday, but both businesses remain open. Last month, we had to cancel our Boston trip after I was hospitalized, stated the tweet from Trevor Chauvin DeCaro from New York. As a result, I had to use travel insurance to get my money back on our hotel, train, and restaurant reservations. Today, I got this message from Table. And that was disputed the cancellation fee because they were sick. And then that's when the owner responded. So, again, just crazy stuff.
I'm friends. I didn't even know I'm friends with this girl. Well, I mean, I haven't talked to her in years and years, but I used to be friends with her.
How are you friends with Jen Royal?
Because I was like, well, I know Jen Royal. I'm like, but she's a sports reporter. And sure enough, she was a sports jockey turned and now is a chef.
Would you go to CIA or something and learn how to chef?
I haven't. I have to catch up on the last 10 years. But
wow.
Yeah.
So you know her?
Yeah. I mean, I actually met Doug because of her
You met your husband because of this woman that just got review bombed because of this spat you got in with a customer over the cancellation fee?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And she's kind of mouthy, like in a Bostonian way, in a good way. Like I could see all this. This all makes perfect sense. No, because she was in town for the Super Bowl, and I was gonna stay home that night because I'd work the next day. And she's like, "No, please come out, please come out." And I went and met her out.
Why don't you reach out to her and get her on the show tomorrow?
I don't have her number anymore.
Oh, sure, you can make contact with her somehow.
I'll try.
You don't have her cell number in your phone?
No, I don't.
Why not? I've got cell numbers going back to 1992.
Let me see.
I'm sure you can find it. All right, 9:23 at the MJ Morning Show. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a Monday is next. You saw that Dave Bautista added to that reward for those puppies thrown out of the window in Tampa.
He did. That's awesome.
Yeah. What is he? He's in like Guardians of the Galaxy.
He came from the WWE.
Yeah, so he started off as a wrestler.
He's a wrestler, but then which Guardians is he in? Is he in all of them? Andrew says all of them. All right, hold on. So there's an update on that, and we got a lot of stuff we got to get to. Oh, did anyone see Saturday Night Live?
I missed it.
I love that guy.
I didn't watch it live, but you know Shane Gillis?
Oh, I love him.
Yeah. So Shane Gillis is a stand-up comedian.
It's hilarious.
And he was hired by Saturday Night Live like in 2019. Yeah. And then he got fired because they dug up some old like Asian slurs that he had online.
And now he's hosting?
He's so popular.
He was a new cast member, and then they fired him. He never even made it to the show because of the controversy. And then they just had him, his career's taken off as a stand-up comic, and they had him hosting on Saturday night. And it's a pretty dysfunctional monologue. He was like joking about Down syndrome. And I mean, I guess he's got like Down syndrome relatives in the family. And it was just... It was actually very funny, but awkward.
Are you going to play it? Or are you going to make us go back and look at it?
It was funny. I got an update, though, on the story. So we'll get to that coming up in just a minute. All right, final chunk. MJ Morning Show is next here on Q105. I'm moving to Florida to get rid of the high taxes in California. Who am I trying to imitate? I'm moving to Florida.
Somebody with a disease? Somebody who's really not healthy?
Yo, Adrian.
That's Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so the Adrian. Yeah.
That got it.
Yo, Adrian.
Every Stallone impression has to start with "Yo, Adrian." Otherwise, you sound like you're, imitating somebody who's really slow.
Yeah, so Sylvester Stallone has announced that he's totally moved to Florida from California because of taxes. Yeah, he, I guess, made the announcement during season 2, the premiere of The Family Stallone. Where does that, his daughters are pretty attractive.
Well, their mother is Jennifer Flavin.
Oh, that's right.
She's a supermodel.
So both kids are Jennifer Flavin spawned kids?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Family Stallone.
Where does that run? What network is that on, The Family Stallone?
For some reason, I want to say it's like on Netflix or something, but I don't know.
Jennifer Flavor Flav, is that it?
Mm-hmm. It's on, I see Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount Plus. That's where I saw it, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, so he just announced that he's fully moved to Florida and he's ditching California, the Golden State, with the high taxes. He does know that property taxes are kind of high in Florida, right? So we don't have a state income tax, but property taxes are pretty high.
I'm coming here to rent.
Yeah. Oh, Froggy, you missed my Sylvester Stallone impersonation.
Oh, let's hear it.
It was bullets.
I can't believe they're actually moving. I thought that was like a bit for their TV show.
No, he's moving.
Do you watch The Family Stallone?
Oh, I love it.
Really?
The girls were like, "Oh my God, Dad, there's no way you guys are going to leave us." The daughters are distraught.
You say it again?
The daughters are distraught.
Oh, I thought you said the daughters are hot.
And that.
Yeah, they are.
And that.
Yeah, because I've never seen the TV show, but I've seen like some publicity photos of Sly with the two daughters. And I'm like, man, are they that attractive, or is that just like really airbrushed?
It's 3 daughters, right?
I think it's 3 daughters.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 too.
There's Sly and
You're
Jennifer
talking about my
Flavin.
daughters,
We have an update on Amy Schumer. Remember last week we were talking about Amy Schumer and how puffy her face was?
That's how my daughter looked when she got punched in the face.
Well, now Amy Schumer is revealing that she is puffy because she has an excess amount of stress hormone, cortisol, in the body.
Me too.
And weight gain, a round face, high blood pressure are among the symptoms. And if it's untreated, it can be fatal.
Puffy face is fatal?
Well, if you have the high levels of cortisone.
It's called moon face.
Yeah, well, that's what apparently she's got.
It's what took Mac tonight.
But a lot of folks were talking about this in the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot of chatter on social media, people wondering what is going on with Amy Schumer, and she wasn't saying much. Didn't she? We had an item last week with, wasn't she telling people to leave her alone and mind your own business?
Yeah, she was super defensive that her face looks like a dinner plate now.
Come on.
If you're out in the public,
dude,
and
come on, don't be rude.
If you're
Franklin
out,
Mint?
Yeah, if you're out in the public, exactly like a
Princess Di?
You know, it's the new Franklin Mint Amy Schumer plate. Oh wait, it's her actual face. I mean, if you're in the public and you're
Come
going
on,
to put
Fess,
yourself
she's got
out
a
there,
medical ailment. She's got
fine,
this hypercortisol thing. Come on.
You can't be out in the public and then have some medical ailment that makes you look completely different.
And then not address it, I guess, yeah.
She's got something too, and I saw this on one of her comedy shows, and she makes fun of herself for it, but I believe this is before she got diagnosed, and she has a buffalo hump. Do you know what a buffalo hump is? When you have this extra like fatty pad.
Didn't Kane have that?
Who?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Amy Schumer has a hump?
She has a buffalo hump, and it's
So
between your
hot.
shoulder blades, and she does this whole routine about it, how someone
Hold on,
pointed.
she's got a camel hump?
Yes.
Is that where she keeps all her liquids?
And someone pointed it out to her, and she just goes.
It's like the humpback of Notre Dame or Notre Dame.
So, I mean,
of the hunchback.
Yep.
Is it because you don't stand up?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
You're
It's because she
slouching?
has Cushing's syndrome.
Hold on. Now she's got Cushing syndrome as well.
Well, that's where the moon face and the cortisol, it's all tied together.
That's cortisol related as well?
Last week, when you were talking about her having this autoimmune disease called Cushing syndrome, one of the side effects is moon face, and then also she's on medications that exacerbate that, like cortisol or something like a prednisone.
Like a prednisone or a steroid.
Yeah.
That can give you some water weight, right? Right?
Yep.
Who cares about her? There's important people that are sick. You
Like-
know who
like
has
who?
dementia?
Who?
You don't know who has dementia?
We've been doing.
I'm sure I do.
We've been doing the show all week.
Brian Wilson?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Who else?
Who did we talk about? Oh, Wendy Williams has
aphasia.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah.
Brian Wilson, though.
Okay, we're talking about Wendy Williams.
Yeah, no, I don't think we brought up Brian Williams or
Brian Wilson?
No, Brian Williams is fine.
Brian Wilson, rather.
And you remember I told you the story? He called Tampa Tempe? That was probably the beginning of it.
He called Tampa Tempe in concert.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tempe. Yes.
Hello, Tempe.
Seen him 4 times live. I'm very distraught about this.
Oh, Froggy, speaking of celebrities, that's right. So you're a big Beach Boys fan?
Oh.
But also, you're one of the biggest Jimmy Buffett fans. May he rest in peace.
All my people.
Did you see that Jimmy Buffett's Ford Falcon sold for $258,500 at auction?
Whoa.
Dude, why didn't you get in on this? It was a 1963 Ford Falcon convertible, which was owned by Jimmy Buffett.
Oh.
And that was the biggest prize among the nearly 800 cars that were available at the annual GAA Classic Car Auction in Greensboro, North Carolina over the weekend. And dude, you weren't there to bid on Jimmy Buffett's Ford Falcon? You're not a fan.
I would have paid cash for that on the spot.
Yeah, $258,500
for Jimmy. Anything.
Car sold. I didn't see who got it.
That seems a little ridiculous.
That seems a little high for a 63 Ford Falcon, $258,000.
I think that's a little low, actually.
Isn't that car?
It's an ugly car.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa.
Have you ever seen the Ford
It's
Falcon?
Jimmy's car, though.
Okay, besides the fact that Jimmy owned it, the Ford Falcon was an ugly car
John
that never really did anything.
All right, some additional celebrity news. Does Dave Bautista, does he live in the Tampa Bay area? Does he live here?
It's
he
not
does?
Bautista.
How do you say his name?
Batista.
Batista.
Yes.
Dave Batista, who came
He's a very nice guy.
He came out of wrestling, And then he's been in the Galaxy.
Yeah, he's been acting.
Franchise.
The Guardian of the
Franchise,
Galaxy
yeah.
franchise.
One of the few wrestlers who made it in the acting world.
Yeah, good for him. Well, what do you mean? The Rock, dude.
I said few.
Few. I mean,
The Rock, John
John
Cena
Cena.
is in a couple movies, and then this guy.
and then Hulk Hogan did Over
And then
the Top.
doesn't John Cena live here also?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
because,
the why do all? Yeah, they all
because
live here.
This was the wrestling. This is where they used to train. Initially, they used to train at that place
Right.
on Dale Mabry. I mean, those guys have been graduated that for a
I wish
long
you all
time.
would leave.
You got the Hulkster here, and Macho Man Randy Savage. May he
The
rest
Nasty
in peace.
Boys.
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
So Dave Bautista has added $5,000 to the reward for whoever this sick maniac is that threw the 3 puppies out of the car window.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know this?
No.
Yeah, these were pointer hound mixed puppies. There were 3 of them. 2 survived. 1 had to be euthanized because it was run over by a car. What kind of sicko did this? So the Humane Society of Tampa Bay says that the surviving 2 puppies, they were named Luke and Leia. That they were thrown out of a car window. This happened really kind of in your neck of the woods, Fester. This happened off of Bears, or how do you say it?
It's Bierce.
Bierce. Yeah, the real way that you say Bears
You don't want to piss the
is
family off.
Bierce, apparently. So this happened the side of a dead-end road off of Bierce in North Tampa. This happened last Wednesday.
You don't want to get caught on a dead end road and off a bear ass.
Yeah. The 3rd puppy was named Paolo, and he did not make it. He died after he was run over by another car. I mean, that's nauseating.
People are awful.
So Dave Bautista, he's a big advocate of dogs.
Yeah,
I think he owns a couple of adopted dogs.
Well, good for him.
And he was recently in Mr. Beast's video where he adopted had 100 different puppies adopted.
Mr. Beast. Huh?
Hey, Dave, are you listening right now? Dave Bautista, if you're listening, call us, 800-990-1047. You never know. If Dave Bautista is listening, I think it's a very noble thing. He's tossed in an additional $5,000 as a reward to track down the sumbitch that threw these puppies out of a car window.
Dave, your class personified.
Yeah, so, hey, make Froggy's day. Dave Bautista, call Froggy right now at 800-990-1047.
Won't be weird at all.
Yeah, 2 grown men calling each other.
Or if anyone knows Dave Bautista, tell him to call the MJ Morning Show or maybe set it up for tomorrow. But no, hey, kudos. Pat on the back to Dave Bautista for, tossing in $5,000. Hopefully that will, drum up even additional interest to find out whoever did this.
It's good to hear some good wrestling news for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of the normal news that we hear about wrestlers, them dying.
So he announced that he's jamming in another $5,000, and that's on top of the $2,500 reward from the Humane Society.
That's cool.
Yeah. So hopefully they can track down whoever this lowlife is that threw 3 defenseless little puppies out of a car window in North Tampa. Well, I mean, come on. Who does this? Who hurts little puppies?
Awful.
The devil.
We ought to have Batista go over there and squeeze your head off like a grape is what we ought to do.
You could do it.
It's a terrible, terrible story. All right, and then before we get out of here, Shane Gillis.
On SNL?
Yeah. I don't have any of the audio. I don't think I need to play that, but it's just kind of funny. He got fired because this was when he was hired in 2019. They fired him before he even started because I guess they didn't do a background check. And
there was a clip of him on this podcast.
Yeah, some podcast audio came to light, and he was making some Asian jokes, apparently, and SNL fired him before it even started.
He used an Asian accent. He dropped the CH word, and he made a couple of other ethnic slurs about Chinese people.
So SNL unhired him, and then they had him on as a guest host on Saturday night, and because he's had a very successful career. And if you want to hear something interesting, this is when we were up in New York. Michelle surprised me, and we went to a comedy club called The Stand. There's a comedy club in New York called The Stand. And this was the week he was fired. They had him there doing stand-up. And we were like front row table. And he was pretty funny, addressing the whole SNL firing. And the same night was T.J. Miller. And T.J. Miller's a funny guy. He played Bachman in Silicon Valley. And that character was the best character on the show was T.J. Miller playing. We almost ended up with an apartment in a building in which he lives, actually, up in the West Village. So would have been cool to be T.J. Miller's neighbor. Funny
MJ,
guy.
You know how Patreon works? Where you have a fan base and they give you monthly payments?
And in return, you give them something a little extra, right?
So, you know how many subscribers he has on his Patreon?
Which one? Shane
Gillis?
Shane Gillis? No.
120,000.
Each giving him, what, $5 a month?
Yes.
Something like that?
Wow. Are you serious?
He makes $500. I just saw a documentary, or a little mini documentary, $560,000 a month off his Patreon.
Are you serious?
He's the most successful guy on there.
How the hell do I get that? I need a Patreon.
What if we start, MJ,
you got to give special stuff.
So,
like, hold on. What do I have to do?
You know, $10 a month. And,
I'm squeaking by. I'm trying to pay the Tico bill.
You have tiers. You have, right?
Yeah, you could, or you could just have a flat
Hold on.
rate.
How do I make $500,000 a month?
So
call Shane Gillis. I don't know. You got to start a Patreon. Shave your head or something.
But what do I have to do? Is this like a
website? You never heard of Patreon?
For certain members, you give them old crotchety calls that you can't find. I notice you give them stuff.
Or we give them a fifth hour that isn't broadcasted on the radio or something.
All of my ASMR people who I watch, they all have Patreons.
Yeah, but they don't have 120,000 subscribers.
Well, how the hell do I not know about Patreon? I know about the Cameo stuff.
No,
and OnlyFans.
Cameo's done.
You're not into the whole podcasting and subculture gig world of broadcasting.
It's just for his podcast, too.
So,
it's really fun.
How much money can I make doing Patreon?
You probably not that much.
Like $50 a month?
Maybe.
You can make as much as you put into it, buddy. I'll help you with it.
You have to give extra. You have to give something extra and special.
So why don't you have a Patreon, Roxanne?
I don't have time. We got this full-time gig, and
$500,000 doesn't move her meter at all.
You could put up bikini pictures for a certain tier.
We got to
It's
roll.
for the general public consumption.
Let me give away some tickets right now. We got a new batch of tickets this week. How'd you like to go see Train and REO Speedwagon? Yeah, I got a pair of tickets right now for Train with REO Speedwagon. It's going to be August 20th, later in the summer, at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. If you're caller 25 right now, you got a pair of tickets, so good luck. Caller 25, 800-990-1047. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and let's be careful out there.